Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live, we're trying to be loud. It is the... Oh, just got the echo. I got that echo back in my ear from last week, and it was when I set up the stream somewhere else. It just got me there, threw me off. I'm really sorry, guys. We're trying to be loud, and we're here for the Sorare Deadline Show. We're previewing all the fixtures across world football, getting those fantasy football teams locked and loaded ahead of the first game week after the international window. We've got super caps open, we've got prize money, we've got shirts, we've got player experiences as well. All sorts of things going on this weekend. We'll be looking forward to catching up with all the Sorare scouts and managers from around the world in the live chat that are joining us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, and everything else in between. Let us know when you are joining the live chat. Drop a fist bump on arrival. No matter where you are, we've got some giveaways to do today. But as always, bit of an elongated intro, I'm really sorry, but I'm joined by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, buzzing to preview this big weekend. Obviously, we've been starved of legit football for a couple of weeks, haven't we? So I'm buzzing for it, mate. I'm really am. It's long overdue, isn't it? I know we've done a couple of previews and stuff for the internationals, but it's just not the same. I don't care what anyone says. It clearly isn't the same buzz, is it? So buzzing for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's been a good amount of hype building up. I think the Sorare NBA stuff has been good to kind of follow. If as a football fan, just like, oh, what's going on over there? And it seems all pretty exciting. So looking forward to a few more bits and pieces maybe coming out over the next week or two. Should be good fun. But this weekend feels like a really, I felt like we were in the same position, Harry, last international window coming out of it, where it was like, oh, everything's on. We're getting ready for Champions League. But now we've had that round of fixtures. We've had that round of, 2 games of Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. We're starting to see how some of the tables are shaping up and some of how the runners and riders are kind of going. This weekend is very big, but is there anything in particular, Harry, that's grabbing your eyes in terms of the importance of the weekend as it is?
The first thing that comes to mind probably is the MLS sort of last round of, fixtures before the playoffs and stuff this Saturday. Definitely. I think there's a lot, not a ton, but there's quite a bit riding on that as far as, more utility for certain cards than not, with the extra game. So, I think the MLS sort of situation is something I'm looking forward to. Anything outside of that? I mean, no, it's just sort of regular. It's just getting back into Ligue for most of Europe, isn't it? And then looking forward to that midweek, like you say, because it's a weird one. We've jumped straight out of internationals, straight into sort of domestic, and then, back into European football like a couple days after that. So, there's a lot to kind of, think about, I guess, and kind of to try and get all your pickings right and not get DMP'd everywhere. That's kind of the aim of the game, right? Because it's not easy to do with some of these European sides. So, I'm looking forward to it. But it's going to be tough.
Yeah, for sure. And, we've got an interesting one here now. I prepped the stream as best I could, Harry Boy, on YouTube. So if you're on the YouTube stream joining us in the live chat, we've got the poll running, Grimmy or Frimmers. So we've got that going. But we've got a great one here from McGettigan. I suppose we can make this poll number 2 because this is definitely going to be a fun one as the season rolls on. Vinny or Felix, and both have got very good fixtures this week. Even just a kind of a hot take on that one, Harry. Both are the wonder kid attackers in La Liga. If you were to only pick one for this game week, both are nailed to start. Let's imagine. I think they are anyway. But who would you be taking?
So I think we've got Barca at home to Bilbao, isn't it? And I think Real are away to Sevilla. I mean, I'm gonna be biased, aren't I, Quinny? I'm a Vinny boy at heart, but I'm in love with João Felix. It's not a great situation to be in if you're Vinny. So no, gun to my head. If I didn't know neither of them right now, I'd probably go with the home fixture and go Felix for sure. I think, and Vinny's just come back from injury, and there's more uncertainties there, I would say, over Felix. Felix has been on fire, so for me, it has to be Felix. What are you saying?
I'm probably taking Vinny, to be honest with you, because I just think, I don't know, man. I think when Vinny took that ascendancy over the last year or two, I just think that's just, he's already done a lot of the miles that probably Felix will do now, if you get me. So, and Bellingham and, Tchouameni, Camavinga, even...
I thought the question was this weekend. Sorry, Quinny.
Sure.
If you're talking for the rest of the season, then I think, and beyond, it has to be Vinny as an extra year of eligibility under 23. I have to go with Vinny. But if you're telling me one game week, I would pick Felix this weekend.
This weekend for
Felix.
Or
the question should be, who's going to score higher this weekend? João Felix
Yes.
or Vinicius, isn't it? That's basically the that would be the contemplation for me. And I would stick my neck out and say Felix, honestly.
Yeah, fair play. Tons of fist bumps coming in, guys. Good for everyone joining us nice and live and loud. Be sure, no matter what platform you're on, to be dropping us a wee like and a follow and a subscribe and all that good stuff, and interact with the stream, because the deadline is under 2 hours away. So we'll be looking at predicted 11s and trying to get some strategy nailed out as well for the game weeks. Now we can see some of the head counts. We can see how the prize pools are buffing out. Another great one here, by the way. Bellingham or O'Reilly, and love a bit of that. We could definitely run today as well. We'll get some of these very nice tandem options here. I really like Grimaldo and Frimpong because they're the same club, and kind of they're both fullbacks, so they've both got that 25 possibility where if you do pick one, it blow up in your face, Whereas like O'Reilly and Bellingham, like if they do blow up in your face, it's like 52. Oh no,
Yeah, not much goes wrong in that sense, does it?
Yeah, even Felix and Vinny, like they could drop in a 41 or something, and it's pretty crap.
100%.
So I like a wee bit of jeopardy on these polls.
100%. No, there needs to be risk. I was just looking at the comments. Germs popped in and said, "Did I see his comment on my Road to Glory?" I did see it this morning, Germ. Honestly, so yeah, I appreciate the offer. If you're willing to send me a cheeky goalie, then I would definitely accept it for a few weeks, and we can use him for the Cap 240. I'm not going to say no to that, Germ, that offer. So I appreciate you. And if you want to send it over, then we've got a 240 lineup alongside our under 23 limited. So yeah, that'd be great if you're willing to do that. And I appreciate you.
I love that. And Harry Boy, I can confirm, is not long wakened. We tried to get a bit of homework done for the stream today, and Harry Boy was like, if I can get my cornflakes first, I'll think about it,
Yeah. Well, alarm was set for 7, and I was like, then if I can make it 7:20, I finally rose, and yeah, now I'm here, 8:09. I appreciate it, Jim, and yeah, coffee's been coffeed, and we're ready to go. McGregor's not AAA anymore. Ooh.
Coffee has been coffeed, and yeah, it's a big game week, Harry Boy. Like for everyone, I think that's got European-based galleries anyway, because this international break is good when you see your players like maybe not go away or they don't feature too heavily. It just makes you a wee bit more comfortable about this weekend. But there has been some mad situations over this international window. Like Germany, for example, are the hosts of the Euros next year. So it I think it's slipped on a lot of Sorare managers' radar that they don't actually have any international utility in these international windows. And this international window, they were in America, playing America and Mexico. And the last game against Mexico was like 10 minutes ago or something. So it's a last-minute dash back for the Germans from America, which is a big bit of a flight right after the match. So there's definitely some of the international shenanigans sprinkled into some of the predicted 11s we're going to see today. Some of the implications of some of the players you maybe want to lean into more than you maybe would. A guy that's maybe typically a 52 score, but could maybe get that decisive. Maybe this week he looks a bit better because he's going to play, versus another guy, maybe he gets 50 minutes, maybe he doesn't start. There's a bunch of that stuff kind of going on as well. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how we pan out through the predicted 11s, through the game week, through the deadline stream as well, as we edge closer to a huge weekend. We're almost at the 10-minute mark, Harry Boy. We'd like to give people a bit of time to get in here, hit the like button, get comfy. I think before we jump into all the exciting stuff, we do have a bit of a giveaway on the go. So number 1 on the channel here, Quinny 3001 on YouTube. I'm giving away a 3D Premier League squad, one at a time. The last week we gave away Eredivisie Eze. I'm still waiting on the winner getting back to me so I can ship it out. But this week, we're going to do it live on stream. I didn't do it live on stream last week, unfortunately, because I'm an idiot. But we'll do it live on stream before the deadline, and we're giving away a Mark Flecken. If you want to know how to get involved in the Premier League giveaway, there's a video on the channel explaining how to get involved in that. But the patron saint of the deadline show, SR Monkey, he had his cornflakes nice and early. He was up, he was prepared, he'd done his homework, and he sent over another card for us as well, where we're giving away a 3D, thanks to SR Monkey. So make sure to give him a follow on Twitter. I tagged him in the tweet earlier today, and check out the podcast, Sorare Ramble, of course. But he's giving us away a 3D Greg Taylor. Now, I must say, at this point, Greg Taylor is the most undervalued, underappreciated card in the game for me. I don't think his price ever reflects his ability. I don't think people who even play Celtic rely upon him enough. Most people are always gravitating towards even Johnson's rather than him, or a Vickers, or obviously we're getting Scales now. But Taylor has won me the most amount of like value, my biggest yielding card. And I think he's a boss. And as a limited, he can really make the difference as a fullback because he can peak. He can peak really, really hard. So for the giveaway today, guys, for the Greg Taylor, because SR Monkey is on Twitter for us as well, we're going to be doing that on Twitter. Okay, so if you follow the show on Twitter, we're looking for likes and retweets. Got to be following as well. We'll check out if you're following SR Monkey and Harry Trades as well. But like, follow, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. And I'll pull a random retweet out of this before the deadline and we'll get that shipped over. It's just nice and easy because the live stream, we can do fastest finger first and Q&A questions, and that's fine. But like the retweet picker, I think is quite a good one. So we'll do the retweet picker on the show today to give away the Greg Taylor before the deadline. And like I say, if you want to get involved in the Premier League giveaway, check out the Premier League giveaway on the channel. Last kind of wee bit of housekeeping, and then that's us past the 10-minute mark. Harry Boy, and we'll get stuck right into it. But on the channel, we've got a sponsor. The channel is sponsored by QuinnBet, and QuinnBet sponsor the channel very greatly. They do so much to help us out with the content, trying to push it on this year. And we've got a pinned promotion in the live chat in the description of the video on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere else. If you open up the description of the stream, you can see all the T's and C's for that and the thing. I just want to go and read it, sorry, because it's important because it's gambling. But yeah, it's a UK Sports Welcome Offer, 50% back as a free bet, up to £35 plus 10 free spins if you're doing the casino games. It's 18 plus, new UK customers only, gamble responsibly, all that good stuff. But they do support the content here at the channel. If you are going to indulge in any of that stuff anyway, then the guys at QuinnBet love the content here at the channel, supported us greatly. And, you know, you'll be supporting the channel by clicking on that link and getting yourself that wee free bet there. So, Harry Boy, housekeeping is out the way. We are on to who is the biggest, most powerful games of the game week. And we're on to the matchups tab. Now, I had a little preview of this with Laird, but what's your kind of initials on this?
I mean, I'm not surprised. You know, challenger sort of teams dominating the top. What's that? I mean, if you want to put Bodo in there as well. I mean, 4 out of 5. You know, disregard the Chinese. You got 4 out of 4 basically. You know, top being PSV and Feyenoord. So, you know, but they'll both want to be competing for the midweek as well. So, you know, the type of games where like the main players who score really well, chances are, bar maybe a Joey Veerman, they get hooked at like 60th minute if things are going, the way they should be. So like you're not getting the full sort of 90 minutes out of these big players in that sense. So that's something to always sort of worry about in a weird way. But something you can't control. You don't know how these games are going to go, but great 2 fixtures, right? Fortuna at home, Vitesse at home for Feyenoord. I mean, yeah, I guess we should probably start it, with one of them, right?
Yeah, well, PSV are kind of one of the... Veerman's went up in so many levels on Sorare. I remember when the Eredivisie first came out and he was at Heerenveen. It was like the under-23 guy that everyone wanted to get as like a real speculation effort. And he's just never really disappointed. Every season, he gets a bit better, he gets a bit stronger, he scores a bit more. And, like it feels like PSV really... The other scores in the team really circulate around him, for the most part. And like you said earlier, at home at Fortuna doesn't get much better.
100%. And they're able to, I don't know where Noah Lang is. I'm assuming they're just resting him. Or maybe he's injured. I don't know, but or suspended. I wouldn't rule that out either. But they've just got a lot of strength in depth as well in important positions. Like Gus Till wouldn't normally start. They have that Sabiri fellow or whatever his name is. But yeah, they've just got a lot of strength. Oh, Noah Lang's injured. Interesting. Oh yeah, that happened he did in the game before the internationals. I do recall that now. Okay, well, bringing in a Lozano or a Bakayoko isn't the worst of replacements, is it? So, yeah, it's a great fixture. I'd be very surprised if PSV concede. Boskagli could absolutely boss it with, no pun intended there, but just with passing stats, his sort of left foot is ridiculous, and he always seems to rake up some great scores. Disappointed to not see Bella Kotchap in there over Ramalho, but yeah, I think manager's sticking with Ramalho for now, and then Teze's been great. Obviously, we don't have. Do we have that Jurdy shooting cards yet? I know he has no picture, but I was just wondering. We do have him.
I thought we had Bologna cards for him.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
Bologna for a year or two. I thought I had Bologna cards. It might not, but I thought I did.
Yeah, no, you could be. I think you are right, actually.
The chat is popping off as well. Sorry, guys. I see some gifted memberships coming out, so thank you very much for that, by the way. Padagul is gifted 5 memberships to the channel, FC Barcelona, so
Wow.
thank you very much. And a bunch of you guys are scooping them up. So we do member streams on the channel where we do a wee bit more in-depth strategy, building galleries, building lineups, a bigger pardon, reviewing galleries, all that good stuff. And we've got some guys picking up some gifted memberships. So Padagul, thank you very much for the support, mate. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys with the gifted memberships on the next member stream. As soon as you do become a member, FYI, it's £1 a month. You get to access all the member content that's ever been done. So it's great bang for buck for anyone that hasn't done that yet. But thanks very much, Padagul. Appreciate that, my man. But yeah, I think that's enough for PSV. What was the second game we had there? It was Feyenoord, wasn't it?
Feyenoord, yeah. Both with massive win percentages, 83, 84%. Huge. It's
the opposition player scores for PSV that really strike the eye there. The forward score being so high in the midfield, because you know they see the Veermans, the Lozanos, kind of there. That's like, oh, they could hit 80s, 90s on these forecasts. With Feyenoord, it's not quite that significant, is it? Those matchup indicators are a wee bit softer on the eye, but the team isn't. The team is just as good, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd argue the team is probably a little bit more settled as far as like not having maybe a couple of injuries in there. They've just got unbelievable firepower. Paxiao, Minte on loan from Newcastle, I believe. Obviously, Jimenez as well. How can we not mention his sort of record so far this season? And the midfield three of Timber, Weef, and Stengs, who plays on the left or on the right sometimes as well. But as a number 10 mainly, that sort of front six is unbelievable, to be fair. Never mind the defense. So I'm just seeing there, Justin Bilo looks to be back in the team, apparently. I don't know what his percentage is. I can't actually see it from this angle. But he's 80. Wow, so he's as good as back, apparently. So that's a big boost to them. And their sort of chances of sort of going on a bit of a, well, they've been on a run, I guess, but just even further in that run, especially in the Champions League as well. So Vitesse aren't like terrible is probably what we should mention. Like, they do have some decent players.
It feels like Vitesse is one of the. It feels like they're one of the big disappointments of Sorare scouting, if you know what I mean. Because when the Eredivisie come on, Vitesse is one of those clubs you always have a peek at. Who do they have on loan again? And do they have someone in their team there now? And for as long as they've been on Sorare, I don't think they've really had many, if any. Like, oh, this guy's getting a Vitesse card this year. He's on loan from Chelsea, or they've signed a guy from Ajax, or whatever they've been up to for the last 10 years. It feels like since they've had Sorare cards, they've stopped that kind of activity, sadly. But Marco van Ginkel will be a name familiar to a lot of people who's had a bit of a storied, failed career with injury, but looks if he's the main man for this team, that could be useful for him. Inside, Hamulovic has got a bit of a reputation around some scouting circles. He scored really well in I'm going to say the Serbian division or something like that. And then went to France for Toulouse, who scout very, very well. Didn't work out for him. He's obviously at Vitesse. The only reason I know this is because leaving Toulouse, there was some links to Celtic in there. But so he's a wee guy. Maybe he's not too handy. But I think that shows the difference in the matchups indicator that Feyenoord are playing a handy team, but they're just probably way better than them. It's kind of similar to Celtic Hearts in some respects, whereas PSV should be knocking over Fortuna. So a wee bit of a different situation for those matches. And I think if you've got PSV and Feyenoord, you're like cards, you're probably not losing any stride coming into this game week.
Definitely not. No, yeah, they're probably the most two settled sides, I'd say, in all of Europe. As far as not many rotations. Winning probably every game so far, apart from maybe some of the midweeks. You're in a decent position if you've got PSV and Feyenoord cards.
Yeah, I was having a wee chuckle there, Harry, because I've jumped ahead to the next team to load up for the predicted 11, right? It's Union Saint-Gilloise, USG to most.
Mm-hmm.
They're at home to Eupen, right? And see, at first, I thought this team's upside down. Look at the formation.
Why is Morris up front?
So this team's up front. It's backwards, So very attacking against 12th in the table. Just 12th in the league, if memory serves me right. Eupen. USG obviously rising to a lot of prominence over the last couple of seasons. Very good scouting network. I love the back three. Kevin McAllister, obviously, from Home Alone or Argentinos Juniors, depending on your take. Alexis's little brother. But the Japanese Rolls Royce is in the team. He's been playing this season. We're keeping a wee eye on him. 70% on the play. Koki Machida and Christian Burgess, I know, has been a big scorer. Some of the rest of this team, Harry boy, I'm not going to lie. Lapussinen, I remember from last year. But otherwise, this feels like quite a changed USG. No Teddy Twuma. Obviously, Boniface has moved on. There's maybe a few other missing pieces, but
Bedringham moved back to Brighton.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple, isn't there? I mean, I recognise obviously Castro Montes has been in that Belgium sort of league for a little while, hasn't he? With Ghent, maybe I think before this. So, I mean, they've probably just recruited, internally in that sense as far as the league goes, maybe more than, finding players from abroad, barring McAllister, I guess. But yeah, I don't know too much. I don't even know too much about their striker, to be fair, that Dennis fella. So, yeah, it's no. Yeah. I mean, probably no Boniface, is he? I'd assume, but maybe he is. But yeah,
it's probably going to turn out pretty well. If you think about the last couple of strikers they had, what was it? Vanazier, Undav, Boniface.
Yeah,
they've had a good line, man. They've had a good line of forwards, Eupen, who they're playing, they've got Slonina, the wonder kid goalkeeper, and they've got Alfred van Bongason. I feel like we spoke about Eupen recently, maybe because they're 12th. They've been in the matchups tab already, but so they've got a veteran striker that can score a goal at this level for sure, and then they've got a wee wonder kid goalkeeper. So I do think this will be a very comprehensive victory for USG. The odds of clean sheet for Eupen is staggeringly low. So yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty good one for them. But they'll similar to the teams above them, but they've got European football in the coming midweek. And because maybe USG have a bit more of a squad feel, maybe there's some of those players that are a bit more like, I'm not too sure if they're going to kick on. So maybe not as much stackable there. But 3 really prominent challenger teams there. And then we get to normally one of the top teams in Champion. They're back up there, Harry Boy, aren't they?
Yeah, PSG. I mean, if you're playing Champion Europe this weekend, I don't know whether, barring an Mbappe, are you that worried about PSG stacks? I don't know. Maybe we'll go in and see the starting 11 now. But, I can't remember the last time a PSG stack's really, gone on to dominate, a division in that sense. But hopefully I'm proved wrong this weekend if you are holding, big PSG cards. But I don't know. They just never seem to keep a clean sheet, Quinny, do they? If we're talking, full stacks.
No, very few that you get these days. With it. I mean, that's one of the things you expect with a domestic powerhouse is that they should get over 10 clean sheets a season, over 15 clean sheets a season. They should like Barca are doing there. Barca are putting, I don't know how their clean sheets are necessarily tallying up, but they're starting to get that defensive solidarity, and for how good their defense is, they never seem to actually get it over the line. So yeah, it is hard to build on. But it feels like the midfield is the real problem for PSG. I heard Andy Laird recently, the kind of running joke for PSG stacks, the best midfielder is a Kimmich, And again, when you look at this midfield, it's like, who would you pick? And then even if you could pick any of them, would any of them get you up there? So I think you're quite right. It is like Mbappe. If Dembele can actually bring in decisives, then I think he's just as good, if not better, than Mbappe, truth be told. But yeah, there's not much that really strikes out as huge power players on the face of it.
100%. I mean, Ugarte can hit monster AA scores, but yeah, he does lack that decisive. But sometimes it doesn't even matter. But like you said, that Dembele and Mbappe kind of make up for it with the double forward. And yeah,
I think this will be a really fun game for the neutral. The boy Angelo is on loan from Chelsea. I think he's a bit of a wonder kid, and the same with this Ismail Doucouré. I think he's a bit of a wonder kid. So it could be a good watch.
Yeah, it'd be a decent game. Like we said, I mean, having watched PSG live, I can tell you they just don't enjoy defending. They just love scoring goals and conceding less. So yeah, I'd be shocked if there's a clean sheet here on the horizon for PSG. But I mean, football's a funny old game at times.
The link to the membership should be in the description. Sorry, back to Challenger. I think. Sorry, the link to memberships. If you go anywhere on the channel, we see my face. There should be a wee button that says join. If you go into the actual channel homepage, there's a members tab, and YouTube will show you how it's all done, buddy. Walter Zaire-Emery is injured, so I think that plays a bit of the part for seeing Fabian Ruiz come back into the team as well, because he's been a huge part of them this season. But yeah, back to Challenger, Harry Boy, you're quite right. It's Fenerbahce that are up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not a shock really with, the sort of firepower they have. And I think they've had a really good start to the season. So, I mean, this team is becoming like really, really OP. I think with that 30 getting a defender card, I think that changes a little bit of the dynamic with, having, a defensive stack with Livakovic potentially, because he's a massive scorer. Not to say the other 3 defenders aren't, but I don't really see many users using those, the right back and the 2 centre half. So, that could, pay dividends, I guess, in the long run. And then obviously Szymanski's been great. Even Fred scored pretty well recently, to be fair. That Ismail Usek, I don't know how, like how many games he's played to get that 79 L5. If it's 5, then wow, that's incredible. And the front threes are, exceptionally good. Yeah, have a look at that. Now 15 of 64 as well. He might be hot property.
I had a page set up there and I just went and scrolled off it. Sorry, I'll do it on this one. What was his name? Yuksek?
Yeah,
I think I'll do it there.
Yuksek. S-E-K. Yeah, you got him.
Wow.
Okay, 80%.
Interesting.
Turkey. Oh, yeah. He is flying. Right, yeah. Okay, well, he's still hitting monster scores. 50 AA, 26 AA, 29 AA almost. Wow, yeah, that's impressive.
24, Harry, that's why you don't know him.
Yeah, he's out of my... I don't even remember him last year, by the way.
Nah, I don't think he did anything last year, looking at this.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then Hatayspor, before we write them off, the thing with Turkey is you've always got to look at the other team in case they've actually got some random good players that they've went and spunked some wages on. But I've only seen Dele Alli there, but it's just Dele Bashuri, so no, wrong Dele. Fayuzi Gulam at left back, we know him from Napoli. And otherwise, yeah, I don't think there's any. Jolson Fernandez, we've heard of him. And otherwise, yeah. Aye, Lamkel, he's an old Anderlecht guy, I'm sure. So, yeah, maybe nothing there to worry about. So, good game for Fenerbahce, for sure. And then AZ, we had a comment about AZ. Somebody playing their first stack there.
Ooh, okay. I told him to Heravine. Doesn't seem like a terrible position to be in. AZ don't seem to be as fiery as they were, I would say, last year. They've lost some massive players in Reinders and Carlson. I'd say, and not to say they haven't replaced them, like they've got some really good youngsters in Van Brederode and Lado that I really, really like. Mynans has had a bigger role this season, and Classy's been great as well. Actually, not that he's a young player, but yeah, I mean, it's still a great team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they won't score well because a lot of these players do, but Carlson. Remember how good Carlson was for a period on Sorare. Like he was the number one forward on this game for a little while, especially under 23. So yeah, I think they're not into their stride yet, but I think the team has the ability to get there. But they are pretty young. So I think it's an interesting stack to get into. It's not something that I'd be like telling you not to do or anyone not to do because they do have some really good players.
We've just started another little poll there, Harry boy. So Grimaldo took over 60% of the view. So we've went for Grimmy over Frimmers. 67% to be precise. That's our favourite number here. We're not on 67 likes yet. On that note, guys, we are at 29. So if we can get up to 69, that would be brilliant. And what'd you cry at? So we've started the next poll. Which wonder kid are we picking, Harry boy? Are we taking Felix or are we taking Vinny? So we've got that poll up and running now. Yeah, so we're taking Felix for you.
Wow.
The quick poll, the first couple of votes, it's went 92% Vinny on the first little rally of votes that have came in. So we'll see how it shakes out. And then we'll go on to, what was the last one again? O'Reilly and Bellingham. So we'll do that to end it off. We'll get a bit of fine on the go. Love it. So yeah, I'm totally with you on that AZ in terms of, a bit of the change of the guard. I think Sugawara's been the big beneficiary of that from the set pieces he's picked up and whatever. And here in Wien, again, kind of like Vitesse. They've got Tom Hay, Kolert, Bosnicek, some guys, Noppert, I can't believe he's still in the team. They're not totally a pushover team. They should have some guys that are pretty handy. And if they make opportunities, they could be able to take, they could possibly take something in terms of a goal or whatever. But yeah, AZ forward stats look crazy there, so Pavlidis, Van Brederode, Lodu, they look like they'll be hitting out big. So we have goals in this game, I think, if you're going to be back in AZ.
Yeah, that's a good fixture for sure, 100%. And then we've got a little stretch of Champion Europe now. What's that, Quinny? 4 in a row? Well, we could say 5 if we skip Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so they're all bunched up. A couple of Bundesliga, a couple of Prem games. But yeah, do we want to go over to Bayern Munich, I guess, away to Mainz?
This is the one, Thomas Tuchel did his press conference earlier, and there's a few guys that are touch and go. There's a few guys that people thought might be around that won't be. Like Kimmich is still touch and go. Goretzka's got a knock. He's touch and go. Leimer should be fine. And he ruled out Guerrero coming back in this week, and he ruled out Neuer coming back this week. It's going to be Ulreich. It's been like confirmed, stated it will be Sven Ulreich. So this is a predicted 11 at the moment. I personally see Goretzka starting if it's about playing through a knock. So I'm not too sure if Muller plays in this holding role or what goes on, but we'll see how it all shakes out. But a big part of stacking teams, Harry Boy, is knowing who's going to play. And Kimmich, if you don't know if he's going to play or not, that really opens the game week up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a big worry, I guess, for all Kimmich holders, because that's the reason you buy Kimmich is because he's never on 50%. If we're being honest, right? He's always at 80, 90, and that you're buying that reassurance effectively. You are obviously buying his ability as well, but you are buying that reliability, I guess, most of the time. And yeah, when he's not doing the thing that you've bought him to do effectively, give you give you no headache, then it becomes a worry, doesn't it? So yeah, it could be funny. That 50% could really scare off some managers using him this weekend. Yeah, and they'll obviously have midweek in mind as well. So do they need to play Kimmich if you're Bayern Munich this weekend? Yeah, probably. But for Sorare managers that don't own him, they'll be obviously in camp no. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens actually with that one.
Let me ask you this one, Harry. At an L15 of 71, is he the best player to put into cap 270 this week with that uncertainty and play him as a captain? And just think, hey, roll with it.
Potentially, yeah. If you've got another low, a lower one in that 5 to compensate, because 71 is obviously pretty high. But in 270, yeah, you probably get away with it, didn't you? And if you are going to want to do well in that monthly competition, you're going to need massive scores. So yeah, I think Kimmich could be an interesting play in that competition, because it's like boom or bust, isn't it? If he plays great, he probably scores relatively well to very good. If he doesn't play, then you've not lost any chance of a reward that weekend with the whole how the new 270 works. So yeah, it'd be interesting.
And the rotation at Bayern can be exactly what I thought. Quinny just can't type it quick enough. Yeah. Yeah, so could be a good one for sure for the rest of us that don't need to worry about Kimmich and some of the Bayern power. Mainz have been rubbish this year, but the team doesn't look that rubbish on paper, but yeah, they're probably going to get battered, aren't they?
Yeah, I assume so. When the away team is 1-3 on, yeah, it could be a tough day for them, but you never know.
Yeah, and we're getting a few 270 headaches in here. And Channy Fistbump, good to see you. Gnabry isn't available, so Coleman will start. I think Gnabry was in another one of those names that was in that list that I didn't complete earlier. So yeah, thanks very much, Channy, for catching us on that one. And the next game we've got is also in Germany. And the interesting thing about this game, Harry, is it is a Friday night game. And we've got Borussia Dortmund at home at Werder Bremen. Now, we're not getting the predicted 11s come up just yet, so we'll wait for it to catch up. But Borussia Dortmund, off the top of my head, I think Borussia Dortmund love Friday night games. I think Borussia Dortmund are normally, if Borussia Dortmund are playing Friday night, it's normally a really exciting game to watch on the TV, and normally everyone's tweeting about it. Oh my God, did you see this? And normally they've had better players than what they have this season. But at home at Werder Bremen, could be a good one if you've got some Dortmund cards.
Yeah, for sure. I think the worry with Dortmund right now is, their ability to keep clean sheets. I'm sure in the last couple of games they've been letting in a couple of goals here and there. I always keep an eye on Schlotterbeck as an under-23 sort of apex defender and how he's scoring. And they always seem to be a couple of goals, in the mud, and he always seems to get a goal himself or an assist. And he's firmly back out of that sort of tricky situation. But yeah, I mean, it's a great fixture. I don't know how Werder Bremen have sort of started this season, to be honest. I've not kept up with them. So yeah, I mean, as Dortmund at home, you'd love to think that, it's going to be an easy night, but nothing seems to be easy in that Bundesliga, Quinny. There's just goals left, right, and center, and it's just so hard to predict, who, where, and why sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those ones, I think, where, yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, the Bundesliga.
You wouldn't be surprised if Dortmund went 1-0 down in the first 10 minutes and then win 4-1. Like that. That's just the Bundesliga for you, for the most part, I think.
Totally. And without Kimmich, Thomas Tuchel in charge, if Bayern Munich drew one each with Mainz or something like that, we would all be laughing, wouldn't we? And it would be great fun. I think out of that little clutch of Champ Euro clubs we've had there, but I think probably this is the best fixture of them all, and it's top of the league, Monaco, playing 15th in the league Metz. So this could be a pretty smasher one, because Monaco are a quiet stack. They feel like, we always talk about the 20s and the Aston Villas, but Monaco, I know Henrique are obviously our pal. After you won him, Harry Boy, he's out injured. But there's some players in this team, some good SO5 cards, and I hope Metz is as good as it gets in France.
Mate, that front three, I mean, Minamino, Balogun, and Ben Yedder, they just live and breathe goals, don't they, really? As far as, what I'm always seeing them, they never seem to score like incredibly well. Minamino can. He has that peak in him. Balogun, maybe not so with the penalty misses, but Ben Yedder loves a brace. I feel like all he ever does is score a brace, or three. But yeah, no, there's definitely firepower. I don't know whether I'd be stacking Monaco cards, just as far as like they do seem to leak goals. There's no, Disassi, Badiashile, a lot of their sort of big name defenders have obviously all moved on and stuff. Not to say they don't have good defenders now, but it just seems a little bit less settled in that sense as far as the goals they concede. And I don't know enough about Metz, if I'm being honest, and neither does Playshaw. What's that? 8 or 9 players without a face. So it's a great start. But yeah, I mean, it's a good fixture. I assume Monaco win this game, but do they keep a clean sheet? I don't know. I'd probably bet no. So yeah, it's definitely a forward Monaco stack sort of game, I would say.
Yeah, definitely could be. I think Big Single Butt has been doing some mad scores, so I know he'll be attracting some attention this season. Have you not seen Single scores, Harry Boy? You'll love this.
No, I haven't. I know about Matsima. He was injured a lot last season and played elsewhere, but he's actually a pretty decent defender. But Wilfred Singo, 62 L5, okay. Oh, wow, yeah, 184, 77, some big scores.
So he was playing like wing back in Torino, and now Monaco are playing him like centre back, but can still do the wing back job a bit. So he's just like killing.
Some big scores there, yeah.
Wasn't as good before, but it's that full back situation in a 3-5-2 where you're just killing possession all the time. But in this system, he's killing in a good way.
Yeah, he's smashing. Fair play. I've heard of his name, to be fair. I think you've mentioned him before to me, but no, I've never seen his scores. But yeah, fair play. They've got a lot better actually from his Torino days, like you said.
Yeah, cheeky wide CB role. Yeah, we love a bit of that in modern football. I have a Dortmund stack. They haven't played well this year, so they're Viking. Yeah,
I was going to say they haven't been unbelievable, have they? As far as scores go, anyway.
I think if you buy a Dortmund stack, you're buying Schlotterbeck, and then you're just trying to buy goals everywhere else, and they've been kind of hard to predict. Yeah. Where are you getting them from?
Like, there's no Haaland there. You know what I'm saying? There's no, like, figurehead at the top of that team where you're like, he's going to mop up the goals. Like, it's been very unpredictable. I think they've been shared around into the midfield. Brandt will get a couple and whatever. And it's just hard. It is hard to predict. It's not nice.
Yeah. This game is probably the one amongst the most viewed, I think, quite easily this weekend. We've got the Merseyside derby, and if memory serves me, this is the early kickoff on Saturday. Liverpool, I'm pretty sure Klopp has been moaning in the press that Liverpool have had, like, I forget what the numbers are, but it's something like they've had 16 12:30 kickoffs out of like an obscene amount recently, and like the next team after them is like 7. Like in terms of who's played 12:30 kickoffs. So. I think, and it is. I'm right. It's a 12:30 kickoff. So Liverpool not too happy about it, but it's a derby. And this Liverpool team, Harry, I've been saying it quite a lot on the channel and a few different shows, but Liverpool, I think they're doing really good this year, and they're not really getting a lot of cred or a lot of people blowing smoke up their backside about how good a job they're doing. I know they're not doing amazing. They're not top of the league and beating people 5-0, but they've rebuilt their team kind of on the job, and they're not really missing too many steps.
100%. That was literally the thing I was going to mention. Then they've managed to configure a brand new midfield. All three of them, haven't they? All come in and kind of kicked on straight away. Endu's in and out and whatever, but Gravenberch as well. They've got like 4 new midfielders in there that have all done well. Like I haven't watched enough of Endo to be like, oh, I know he's done amazingly well. But McAllister, we all know how good he is, and the games I've seen, he's been great. Slobosly the same. And Gravenberch, when he's come on and played in the European games, has been really effective as well. So yeah, no, they've been good. But Trent was out for a few games. Like they've been unlucky with injuries as per. It always seems to be Liverpool's downfall, I guess. Probably. Of late, Robbo now injured. Tsimikas is is in, and yeah, it doesn't. The quality drops, but it's not like he's still an international football player. Obviously, you wouldn't be at Liverpool if you weren't. And yeah, I mean, heavy favourites. They should win this game, but we know that the Premier League is unforgiving sometimes, and derbies, everything goes out the window as we very well with your Celtic boys. Sometimes it just the game gets the better of you, and it doesn't even matter who or who. But at Anfield, as we know, Quinny, we're very grateful to be able to say that. It's unforgiving, the pitch, isn't it? Imagine that with 55,000 fans in there and the ball's skidding everywhere. It was hard enough to control the ball, with no one in the stands. Never mind with Liverpool's players in front of you. And no disrespect to who we had on the opposition side, but they weren't Liverpool, and
no, they weren't.
And there weren't 50,000 in the seats. So, mate, honestly, I couldn't even imagine having to try and play there and keep your first touch and stuff. So yeah, big game for Everton. They've got some good players though, and very athletic. Like, they can on the counter. There's a lot of things that they could do. Onana, Doucouré bursting through the middle, McNeil with his delivery from set pieces, and even in open play. Like, it's not a bad Everton team at all. It's not amazing, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin sort of back and had a couple of goals so far. So, mate, honestly, I'm not saying Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool are going to batter them, if I'm being honest. Sorry, Channy, but I think they win 2-0, 2-1. I don't see it being a romping. Just with, I don't know, international break sort of hangover potentially for every team. I'm not saying that just for Liverpool. I'm not being biased in any way, but I think most play, like a lot of those players, Diaz having flying in, and I know Nunes would have probably started this game if it weren't for I watched, just on a side note, I watched Nunes play against Brazil, right, Quinny? And he was absolutely incredible. He ran Gabriel and Marquinhos ragged. And I mean, like, if anyone watched it in the chat, there's no way you're disagreeing with me here. He was absolutely incredible, Quinny. Like, I couldn't believe the night he gave those defenders. It was frightening, mate. Honestly, it was insane. And I'm not the biggest Nunes fan, I'll be completely honest. But he impressed me, honestly, unbelievably.
A goal and an assist he got against Brazil, wasn't it?
Yeah, I missed the first goal. I turned it on at halftime because I couldn't find. I was hoping it was on the TV out here, but it wasn't. I had to stream it. But yeah, the second one he set it up. He should never have got the, like, as in what he did. It was just stupid. Like, how the defender sort of let him do what he did and how he did it. It was incredible. Honestly, I was so impressed with his. Like, he's like Haaland, but he can like carry the ball from like really deep, if that makes sense. Like, stature, he's not as tall as Haaland. He's probably a couple inches smaller, but it's just his power and pace, mate. Honestly, I was really, really impressed. Like, he was frightening.
Yeah, I didn't see the game obviously, but hearing you describe him there, it feels like Darwin at Benfica. He was that kind of way where it was like that. If you watch this guy, he's not too different from that Haaland guy. He's powerful, he's strong, he just runs on the last line, and it's just
so raw, but just quick.
Power. But Darwin, he loves it. He loves a BCM. He's always loved a BCM, and he's never going to not stop loving a BCM. So, hey, it kind of is what it is with him. So you got to move on. Yeah. 100%. But another thing I'd say, Harry Boy, is we've got hundreds of Sorare scouts and managers watching us now. We've had a few questions. We've got some giveaways going on. One of them is for retweeting this broadcast on Twitter at Quinny3001. And the other one is for the Premier League giveaway thing, which is on the YouTube channel. Go and check out the video for details. But we'll do the retweet picker. We'll be giving away 3D Greg Taylor Limited, thanks to SR Monkey. Make sure to give him a follow at SR Monkey, at the Sorare Ramble as well, the podcast that's just came out. And jump on Twitter, retweet, and we'll be giving that away before the deadline so you can get Greg Taylor into your team. And I'll also be giving away a Mark Flecken goalkeeper. I'm not too sure if he's playing this week. I think he's got the bug or something. But anyway, it's a goalkeeper that will play for the majority of the time. So we're at 42 likes. We'll get the giveaway stuff done once we get to 67 likes, okay? So get the phone out of your pocket, whatever it is you're up to, change tabs, hit the like button, and then go back to being comfy and doing what you're doing. We do have the secondary poll. We'll close it in 5 minutes, Vinny, Junior, or Felix, and then we'll move on to the final poll of the stream as well. But Harry Boy, I think that's a lot of the main kind of fixtures that I think when you scan across the weekend are the ones that jump out as like, oh, that could be maybe a wee bit one-sided. And then as we get into these sections here, I'm not too sure we really have many one-sided. Maybe Girona, maybe Man United,
maybe Tottenham,
Fiorentina.
Say, but not that we need to go into it. But yeah, Tottenham have a good fixture, I would say.
But yeah, I don't think there's that many like lopsided fixtures on the rest of that running order.
Yeah,
What do
you're
you
right.
think?
I would say I would agree with that. There's nothing incredibly that stands out. I think Tottenham does, like, if you look at odds and stuff, for home to Fulham is a good fixture. But yeah, maybe Newcastle, you could argue, decent fixture. Um, yeah, United obviously playing Chef, but away from home, you just never kind of know. But yeah, no, I'd probably agree with you there. Sorry, mate. Yeah, 100%.
We've got Man City Brighton there, so we'll have a peek at that.
Yeah, we could
And
have a look at that actually.
so this is a top of the table clash. Brighton, I think under De Zerbi, I don't think they've done well against Man City. I was looking into this earlier, but I think since De Zerbi's came in, I don't think they've had a good time with City. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe they have had a good time. I've got to double check that, but I think it's a negative, to be honest with you. And I don't think the City teams looked quite this good in a little while. It's good to see Bernardo back. It's good to see that full back four: Diaz, Stones, Guardiola, Walker, and then Doku's living his best life at the moment.
He is, mate. Now the team's looking good, really settled. Like, it's just nice to see. You know, we've always associated Man City and Pep with obviously the Pep Roulette, obviously because his name's in the the title of the same. But there's a lot of 90%ers on there, and even a 95er. So like, it doesn't. You know, I think it's looked a lot worse in recent sort of weeks and months and seasons. So yeah, I think, you know, barring the Doku sort of 60-40, you could be pretty confident there. Couldn't you play in any of those Man City lads? You know, at home to Brighton, which is, you know, Brighton are a good team, obviously, but they've had some weird results this year. Like, they've been battered in some cases, and then they've beaten teams you probably expect them to, but like too comfortable in that sense. I don't know. It's been as you can see with their sort of, you know, I think De Zerbi's kind of tried to emulate Pep in the sort of rotational aspect of things, right? Keeping players fresh, keeping everyone involved. I think that is a big thing in having a squad of players. Like, you don't want to keep players on the bench for too long because they're going to get disinterested and probably sack it off eventually, and then just not want to play for you when they come off the bench. So, you know, giving players starts, you know, every other game and all that business, it's a give and take, isn't it? Because, you know, it's an unsettled team. You're never playing with the same players and personnel. Obviously, you're training with them every day. These are pros. It's not like that difficult for them to do, but it's not the same as having the same 11, you know, most weeks, is it? So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that sort of plans out, but it's got to be a Man City win there for me.
Forgot we didn't actually get the Dortmund team up, so I just thought I'd smash this on screen now. Yeah, because it didn't load. So anyone that did want the Dortmund predicted 11, we've got it on screen for you now. Actually looks like
I tell you what, Fulkrug used to play for Werder Bremen, right? He's
I know that's going to happen.
He's the number 9, but chances are he's going to score tonight, lads. Any first, you know, anytime goal scorer bets, it has to be on him. Ooh,
backup goalkeeper as well. Pavlenka's out, Czech international. So this guy, I never heard of him.
Interesting.
He's in goals.
Yeah.
Interesting. This could be a really fun Friday night. This game.
Could very well be, 100%.
Royce and Brandt and Emeka. Fulkrug, as you say, the battering ram. I think it could be a fun game for sure. Columbus Crew, we've got MLS riding high. Look at that, Harry boy. We normally need to make an excuse to get an MLS team in to the reckoning of this, but the Crew are up there on their own merit. So well done to them. They are secured in the playoffs, if memory serves me right. So I think Montreal must be a write-off, and they're expecting this to be a bit of an exhibition match.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I have quite a few Montreal players, and yeah, they haven't really performed, especially away from home. They're horrendous.
Montreal are on the bubble.
Oh, they're in there. Yeah, they do well at home. Montreal. They had a wicked. Recently, they've been struggling, as we obviously can see with their form. But like, there was a stretch of like 9 games where like I can't remember the goalie's name, Sirois or Sirois, whatever his name is. Under 23 goalie, he went on an absolute heater for a couple of weeks where like he was just keeping clean sheets left, right, and center. Obviously that L5 and L15, you know, would sort of prove otherwise, but that's, you know, obviously the most recent sort of stack of games, and they've been poor, mate. Yeah, they've not been great. And Crew are just renowned for being a great home team. Chucho seems to score a hat-trick every game. Obviously Rossi's come into the fold, and Matan, obviously they lost Zelarayan, but they've still got an unbelievable side, I think, for an MLS side. Well, it's just not unbelievable, it's just very good. Yeah, Montreal need to win to get into the playoffs, Rico Man says.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like a bit of a jamboree in this conference for Montreal, to New York, and 38 points. So all got their last game. New York need a miracle, but you've also, so it's New York versus Chicago. Charlotte's playing Messi. I forget who the Bulls are playing. DC are done, and then Montreal are playing the Crew.
Nashville away.
At Nashville away, is it?
Yeah, tough game, but they're safe in that sense, Nashville. So, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it could be a good one for the crew.
Yeah.
We then get Brugge away to Kreuzig or Kortrijk. How do we say that one?
Kortrijk, yeah. I think it's Kortrijk. I don't know. It's funny. Well, a lad I know on loan from Cardiff. They've actually got 2 players on loan from Cardiff, Kortrijk right now. Isaac Davis, Welsh lad. I kind of know him quite well, to be fair. But yeah, the other guys. Remember Shea Ojo from Liverpool? I don't know if you recall him, but yeah, he
played in Scotland for a while, I think.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Was it Rangers? It was Rangers.
I was going to say Aberdeen. May have been Rangers, but
maybe not. I can't remember, to be fair. But he's there as well. He scored a couple of goals, Isaac, actually, so far. Obviously, Kadri being sort of the main man there. Yeah, I still fancy Bruges heavily here, which is not a shock to anyone, I guess. But away from home, you never know. Bruges will play midweek. Could be a few discrepancies there. Just looking at the team, Skov and Nusa both 80% is nice to see for holders. And then, outside of that, but 60 is interesting. I don't know what's going on with him. But the Lord at 95% was all you want, really, wasn't it? So, all you would want. So, a
bit of old-fashioned. Everyone will be retiring their Kimmiches this week and playing their Vanikins.
They'll be paddling their Kimmiches into and turning them into Lords this week, definitely.
Yeah. Weaselmount says it was Rangers that Ojo played for.
Okay.
Or whatever his name is. And then Man United, did mention them. Sheffield should be a game that if you had Man United cards, you get excited about. But Harry, should they be excited about this game away?
I mean, can you get excited about United players other than Bruno? He's right-footed, isn't he? I swear he's right-footed. He's definitely not left-footed. Anyway, not that means you can't play left-back. But, so the whole back 4 are right-footed, by the way, can I just add? Again, does that really matter? Maybe not. But it's just a weird thing to see. Anyway, Bruno, like you said, obviously, McSauce has done his thing over the last couple of games, saving United in many ways. So obviously, I guess he deserves a start. Rashford was good for England. Maybe can take that into this game. But I don't know. I mean, other than Bruno, are you willingly playing any United players right now? Realistically, I know it's Sheffield, so could probably play anyone and they might score well. But I don't know, man. United are dodgy, man. And that's again, I don't support the opposite of United in that way. Like I'm just seeing it how it is right now. I wouldn't be touching them.
Could be the game that Vinny Souza announces himself to the Premier League. Could just pocket Bruno, pocket Mount, just boss him.
Just get off me and just boss.
I'd love to see a bit of that. That'd be so fun. But that defence, you can't touch that, can you? You can't.
It's weird, mate, isn't it? It's weird.
Even against McBurney.
Weird.
Even against McBurney, you wouldn't trust Onana.
I know. Cameron Archer is sharp, by the way. Like, really sharp. Obviously, he was with the England under 21s over the summer and stuff. And yeah, he's real sharp. So that could be a tough day at the office for the aging legs of Johnny Evans and co.
And the FPL veteran is he's pulling rank on us here with the veteran status. So fair play.
It very well might. Yeah. But
we think it's the Vinny Souza game. That's what we think it's going to be. Maybe that's just me. Yeah. Now, we've got the blue side of Glasgow, Harry boy. Right now, let me get that. Sorry. So Rangers this week have appointed their new manager Philippe Clement to replace the outgoing Beale from Ibrox, and it's one of those ones where when Rangers go out to replace their manager, it's always one of those ones where they've got to try and keep pace with Celtic, obviously, but they've got to try and keep, I don't know, I suppose the money they spent in the summer valid, worth something. They spent so much money with the last manager that it feels like a waste if they're just going to scrap it all and start again. But Philippe, let me say that again. But Philippe, I can't get that. It's really sticking my tongue. But Philippe, oh wow, I feel like a broken robot. But Philippe Clement, right, is a guy that we know from Sorare circles in the past from managing Bruges and Monaco. So when I seen this appointment, Harry, I was quite excited to get on the deadline stream or somewhere and think about what this guy actually be good at Rangers. I know Rangers, unfortunately, still don't have any cards on Sorare, so we're kind of looking at guys that have transferred in and all the rest of it. But quite a big managerial appointment for Rangers, I think. And from what we've seen over Bruges and Monaco over the last 2 or 3 years on the platform, we've got a bit of an idea of what this guy brings to the table, I think.
Yeah, his time at Monaco wasn't incredible, I don't think, especially towards the end. But I think, the results and what he could do as a manager with the team he had and the teams he had with Bruges and Monaco. I think he's a winner. That's one thing the Rangers aren't right now, if we're being completely honest. That's just not, no knock on anyone. It's just they've brought in some big players and stuff from other leagues, but it's just not clicked. And was Beale the guy to get that out of him? Probably not. Hence, his sacking and whatever. So they've brought in somebody with more pedigree, right? It's just can the players buy into what he has to say and what he has to offer as a manager? I'm sure they will. I think if you're a player and a bigger sort of named manager comes into the dressing room and stamps his authority down, I think more often than not, players are going to buy into that and kind of want to aspire to impress him at the end of the day, because they all want to get into the side. And I think he'll be a relatively good manager there, to be honest. He's managed good players in the past. At Monaco, I think he had Badiashile and Tchouaméni, some really good young players. And listen, we can't compare them to the likes of Rabbi Matondo and etc. Rangers, but there's some decent players there, decent young players. Todd Cantwell, I'm not saying he's the youngest anymore, but they've got some really decent players there. It's just getting the best out of them, and I don't think Beale did that, if I'm being honest, without being a fly on the wall, I guess, with that Scottish League. Hence his sacking. It clearly didn't work. So hopefully, Clement can come in and stamp his authority on this team that has quality.
I'm not going to say hopefully, because I hope it doesn't work out, of course. But but quite right. When you look at the time, I had to go and find it here. So he left Bruges in January 22 or something. January 22. So his last game in charge, if I can share the right tab, sorry, that would help. But his last game in charge was away to Cercle Bruges in a derby. They lost 2-0. That's a funny little omen, isn't it? But as you can see, the sort of form that he was getting into, they could beat teams domestically quite comfortably. Maybe the Champions League was a wee bit of a push for them towards the back end. Really tough group, obviously PSG and Man City, etc. But when I look at the form that he's had, let's look at one of the teams, for example. So let's even look at this free each game against Anderlecht. This Bruges team, if you remember what it was like having some of these Bruges cards, like Noah Lang, CDK, even Vanaken former. I remember Odilon, who's also now at Leverkusen. This team didn't score lots of goals. They didn't score 5s and 6s. There's a lots of, if we scroll back here through the results, there's a lot of possession when you look at the statistics. Lots of 3s, lots of 2s. This is after him, actually. So this is 2022. So back here. So there's lots of good results for them, but they never seem to, even domestically in Belgium, 4-2 against Mouscron. You still conceded 2 there. Genk, that's a big match. But there's not as many of those games as when you see after he left, they start to, maybe some more bigger scores started coming. We've seen Lang getting hat-tricks. We've seen CDK scoring a little bit better after him. So it definitely seems to be a guy that likes to control the ball, likes to control possession and go and win the match. This looks to be the predicted 11 for his first game in charge at home to Hibs this week. I've heard a lot of people in Scottish football trying to get close to this, saying that they're expecting him to play a 4-4-2. But if you really know the Monaco and the Bruges teams, it's not really 4-4-2 that was ever getting played. He loves his fullbacks. That's clear to see. And looking at this Rangers team, I think that's probably the way it's going to shape out, isn't it, Harry? A bit of a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1 seems to be that. I think on the opening game of his sort of managerial career at Monaco, he opted for the 4-2-3-1, and that kind of seems like what he's going to do here. Hibs are no mug, so it's going to be a tough game, albeit at home. I don't think he's changing the team, personnel-wise that much. It's just going to be, tactically, can we keep the ball maybe for a lot longer? Can we sort of dominate the game and maybe not leave ourselves as open as, previously, Rangers were at times, and, kind of see games 1-2-0 rather than, 3-1s and 3-2s and whatever. So, it's just being really solid at the back, and they're going to want to win that, his opening game of the season to kick them on now for the remainder of the season.
Now, if I was a Rangers fan, which I'm not, but if I was a Rangers fan, I'd be worried that this guy's been told you need to get the most out of Cyril Dessers, Kemar Roofe, Sam Lammers, and make them into title contenders in Scotland, because they've spent a lot of money, because this guy, if you do look at Bruges, you do look at Monaco, like you say, has done these things, but high turnover clubs. They loan players in, they transfer guys in and out all the time. They have a lot of transfer flexibility. So it'll be really interesting to see how it kind of takes on this team. If we're to think about anyone who's watching the stream, if I can try and be unbiased for a moment, if you're looking at this from an SO5 perspective, the guy has got Bruges to be, or was at Bruges, very dominant in a similar situation. You'd expect Rangers to become the second most dominant team in Scotland again under this guy. Looking at this predicted 11 here, Harry boy, who do you think could be the big winner card-wise for Philippe? Come on, coming in. It's really doing me bother, that name.
I mean, the obvious one is, Tavernier is obviously going to dominate the headlines as far as SO5 scores go on Sorare. But, I think we could see, Campbell, there was a period, wasn't it, at the end of last season where he went on an absolute heater as far as his performances, went. And according to his, his L5 and L15 there, things haven't looked as good of late. And, hence maybe the team itself have been declining as far as scores go, just because, the manager just got sacked. They couldn't have been doing that well, right? So yeah, over that, you can see there, the last over the last 7 games, he's hit one peak, and that was a penalty won against Severette in the qualifying game, I think that was. So, prior to that, as you can see, it was goal, 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 goal. So, maybe he can sort of reclaim his sort of dominance in that side as far as, being that main SO5 player in the attack. I think Raskin could do pretty well as well in that sort of CDM role, as he does, relatively well anyway. But I think he could be a beneficiary of the new manager coming in, maybe a bit more ball dominant and just racking up loads of passing stats, maybe.
That's the big thing when you look at both the Monaco and the Bruges team. Obviously, Monaco, it's so rare we know about Lord Vanaken and how good he is. But you've got such a key component like that in midfield. And then the Monaco team, he's got Buddy Tchouameni, Fofana. Even I think he might have had a wee shot of Fabregas in that Monaco team, depending on, So, point being, he is very much used to real quality in midfield. So, if those guys have it, maybe he can get it out them. But I'm not as confident, let's say. But yeah, Philippe Clement makes his Rangers debut at the weekend at home to Hibs. We had the predicted lineup here. I think Seema's probably good for a goal in this match, but Hibs are not necessarily pushovers, and they'll definitely be there to give it a good game and try and cause a bit of an upset. It's a really funny little set of fixtures we're going into, Harry, in Scotland, because Celtic and Rangers over the next 5 games, both of us will play Hearts, Hibs and Aberdeen. And then amongst that, we've got double headers in Europe, Celtic with Atletico Madrid, Rangers with Sparta Prague. So teams like Hibs, we're going to see them coming up again for quite a few teams in Scotland over the next couple of weeks. And, the division is starting to really heat up. And I think, this will be a baptism of fire for the new manager. And let's hope it stays that way. Oh, then we've got Girona.
Your boys.
So we'll have a wee peek at this, right? Because Girona, obviously, as we know, are riding high in the league and second at the moment. And also, I won that Unique, who is on to play very, very much so this week. Some international travel and all the rest of it. If anyone has been falling in love with Girona, this is a great game at home to Almeria. Sunday as well. Very similar kickoff time to Celtic. So this is going to be a lot of fun for me on Sunday. We'll have a bit of a Girona Celtic watch-along session on the go, which will be good fun. Almeria just don't have that many good players, to be honest with you. We know some of them from other clubs, but they're not doing that great. Girona are on a bit of a high. And a lot of these main players don't do international football. Alex Garcia, Ivan Martin, obviously Savio, Miguel Gutierrez, Eric Garcia. So all of these guys will be prepared and well up for this game. So I think that was a good one. And we're getting a question here from Gaza because of King. That's a shite. Asking about the weather in Scotland as well, because it has been quite troublesome. And I think there's a wee bit. I seen a comment earlier. Maybe Forest versus Luton might be in jeopardy for this game week. Guys, just a quick one. But at 59 likes, we need to get to 67 before we do the giveaway. There is over 140 Sorare Scouts and Managers on YouTube. Certainly, there's a bunch of these on Twitter and Facebook and a bunch of our places. Get involved in the broadcast. Hit the like button. Hit the retweet if you're on Twitter. If you want to win a Greg Taylor in the next 20 minutes or so. But we need to hit the likes goal on YouTube, certainly. And we'll close the poll shortly for the Vinny versus Felix one. But yeah, sorry, Harry boy. I just wanted to get all that kind of off my chest there.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, who have we got next on here? Do you want to go to Tottenham or maybe Newcastle or Leipzig? I guess we've got a couple to to go over because they've got Leipzig have Darmstadt away, which is an interesting fixture.
Sorry, mate, 2 seconds. I've made a mess of the polls and stuff. I'll put Leipzig up because I think that is a good one because Leipzig are, they're not in the top end of the league. They're 6th at the moment, but they have been pretty handy and they've kind of went back to type. They're playing more Yusuf Poulsen and Kevin Campbell these days rather than some of the guys are signing and bringing in.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting sort of transition for Leipzig. I think with the young talent they've brought in, Openda, Simons, Sesko obviously had a good little international break with his team. So yeah, no, it's an interesting side. Luke Haber's come into that, Leipzig back 4 as well and done pretty well since he's got the chance. And yeah, I think since last night though, Quinny, there's been a little change there. Benji Hendricks wasn't down to play. They had Klosterman at centre back and Simikan at right back, so that's definitely changed. What's it called? Press conference news. So yeah, that's an interesting one. But I think it's not easy enough, but they should win. Away from home, Darmstadt. Just an average Bundesliga team, I would say, and this Leipzig team has the capabilities to be, way more than that. So it won't be easy, but I do think there's a Leipzig win in here for them for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. I think the manager spoke up, Marco Rosa, how Darmstadt have got a really difficult midfield, so it could be a good AA-based match for some of the guys like Simons and Openda. They might need to win a few more duels, make a few more attempted assists and that kind of thing. So yeah, it could be a really good one. You mentioned Newcastle Palace. We'll put it up, right? Because last season in the Premier League, Harry Boy, at home at St James's Park and at Selhurst Park, both fixtures, Newcastle versus Palace, was 0-0 last season. Roy Hodgson's side this season have only conceded 7 goals. They're amongst the best defences in the league. They don't score very much either. So Palace are in very good 0-0 form coming into this match. Newcastle have obviously got a lot of headlines going around them. What do you think, Harry? Is it going to be 0-0 again?
I don't know. So Newcastle will have midweeks to sort of worry about as well, but the next game is always the most important, really. I don't know. Yeah, I think it'll be tight. I don't really see Newcastle romping them, if I'm being honest. I really don't. They'll keep it tight. I fancy the clean sheet for Newcastle if I'm a betting man. But yeah, do they win 2-3, 4-0? Probably not. I think it'll be tighter than that. If I'm being honest, Wilson, Almiron, Gordon as a front 3. I don't know. Palace could give him a hard time potentially.
Tonali is available for selection, by the way. He's not out of this game. It's just emotionally and mentally if he's got it in him, I guess is the question. Anthony Gordon has been one of the most impressive players for me this season. In terms of young wonder kids, he's the one that every time I've seen him, I'm like, wow, he looks amazing. So it could be a good game for him. Palace are no pushovers, but yeah, it's goals that you worry about, in this team really. So without Olise, without Eze, you really worry about how they're going to get up the pitch, and make chances for some of their strikers. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring one. Mark Geigy's getting courted by all of the Premier League at the moment. Palace are desperate to tie him onto a new contract. Tyreek Mitchell's just got a new contract recently. I think there's a good feel-good factor in this Palace camp at the moment, but yeah, I think it could be 0-0. I would probably go with that, to be honest with you, this week. I could see it. No Isak as well. It's going to be Wilson up front probably, so I could see it. Boring game.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Do you want to go to Tottenham potentially, or
we'll do Tottenham and Celtic? Sound good?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we've got Tottenham. So Ange sitting top of the league at the moment. Now, Harry Boy, I don't know how this Premier League is going to go, but I think this is going to be one of the best title races we've had in a number of seasons. Like I mentioned earlier, Liverpool are way slept on. City are mathematically impossible not going to win the league this year. Anyway, they're going to be up there. Arsenal are fighting, and we know Spurs are in amongst it as well. So I think there's going to be 4. There could be a surprise number 5 team that once we get to March, May, I don't think there's going to be many points in it. So Tottenham against Fulham at home, this is going to be a big match to make that reality something, I think, isn't it? This is a big 3 points they should be getting.
Yeah, it's a great chance to, post-international break, dust off the cobwebs and just kick on again, because, momentum's a massive thing in football. I think I heard James Maddison say, the international break came at a bad time for them as a team because they were flying, obviously. And, they are still flying, but they haven't proved it yet because they have a game this weekend. So it's it's one of them where, they need to hit the ground running, because it's one of them where if they don't win this game, there's big question marks. It's a bit we've just come off an international break at a time where we didn't need this game. If we played Fulham before the international break, they probably batter them, 3-4-0, maybe 2-3-4-0, whatever. But now, the momentum's kind of slowed down just naturally. The players haven't been training together. It's as simple as that, isn't it? So you just never know. It depends how quick they can integrate back into domestic football and kick on. Like, am I that confident with Richarlison up front? Probably not. So I don't know. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, that is for sure. Højbjerg comes into this one in replace of the suspended Bissouma. So it could be but Højbjerg, as we know, he could be an SO5 demon when he starts. So if he starts this game, there's no Bissouma on the bench to rotate with him. If Højbjerg clips 90 minutes in this game, it could be a big AA score for somebody like him, because this, like you say, Fulham do bring a threat. The ball will turn over. It will go end to end. Angela will love it. Tottenham will love it. And that could be good scores for your likes of your Højbjergs as well. So yeah, it could be a good one, SO5 wise. And I think, it's definitely like a kind of subliminal 6-pointer for Spurs in that sense. Like, they've got some good points against some good teams. I think the only points they've dropped so far is the draw with Brentford. And Brentford and Fulham are in that same kind of catchment area for me of like a handy Premier League outfit that are going to give you bother. And if you can dispatch them, it's always a good 3 points to get in the bag, especially at home. So I'm with you, Harry. Good game. And then what was the other one we had? Let's go to Celtic, right? Let's go to Celtic. Yeah. Because, like I mentioned already, in the pinned comment in the chat, guys, there's over 140 of you here on YouTube. On the channel, Quinny 3001, the channel is powered, sponsored by QuinBet. We've got a free bet for you guys this weekend. In the pinned comment, if you're up for doing that, if you're doing that kind of thing anyway, obviously 18 plus, gamble responsibly and all the rest of it. But Celtic are away to Hearts, and this is a game I'm the most excited about watching this weekend. We've got, out of the international break, we've got the 3D cards out. We're going to give away the Greg Taylor. We're past the like count. We'll do that after this. This is the predicted 11 for Celtic this game week. We've got Luis Palma, who does not have a 3D card. Sorare, if you're listening to this, you need to email Celtic and tell them we've got 4 or 5 pictures still to receive. Get them sent over pronto. I think, Palma, I'm not too sure where he had to travel for his Honduras international, so I'm not too sure if that will come into it too much. But the Japanese lads, Kyogo and Rio, they were doing international football in Germany. I think Japan were based in Europe again. In this international break, Daisamaida didn't go away. Matt O'Reilly went last minute to sit on the bench against San Marino. Scales debuted for Ireland. Taylor made a wee cameo against France. But, besides that, it's not like many players have travelled across the length and breadth of the earth. It's not like guys are playing for Brazil and whatever. So I don't think it'll really impact us too much. And it's a really strong team.
Yeah, it is, to be fair. I just want to add, just because I was randomly watching it, I watched Cameron Carter-Vickers play against Germany on Saturday, I think it was, and then I don't know if he got on. They played Ghana this midweek, just in a friendly. Obviously, I can't remember if he got minutes in that one. He very well might have, but I didn't see it personally. But they did win that game. So yeah, they've all done a fair share of traveling in that sense. With the main sort of players, I guess, and yeah, but that shouldn't worry you in any way. Team's looking settled, Quinny. Like, I love the look of that for you. There's so many dark green 80 pluses. They're all 80 pluses, like every single one of those players. So, McBride, obviously, who does the predictions, I guess he's pretty or very confident in what's to come over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, bearing any injuries and stuff. And I'm buzzing for you, to be fair, because that's a nice thing to see, isn't it, for once? Because there's always one or two. There's always a coin flip. I'm not seeing any coin flips. Maybe you could argue Palmer. But other than that, I'm not seeing anything that you have to worry about there. So, yeah, good job.
Oh, was it in actual Japan? I thought it was in Germany again. So I beg your pardon, Mickey Fu. Thanks for catching me. I know the boys are back in town anyway, and it's all been going good for them, so that's fine. But guys, I want to say last shouts, right? We've got a bunch of likes. We've hit the like goal. That's fine. If we could get to 100 likes, that would be beautiful. It would make my weekend, guys. You'd make me so happy. But we've only got 34 entrants to win the Greg Taylor. Now, guys, at Quinny 3001 on Twitter, I'll give you a 5-minute warning. Okay, it's 2:15. I want to get this done for 2:20 and get it shipped into your gallery. We'll also give away the Mark Flecken at that time as well. But 5-minute warning, guys. Find this, like and retweet, and all that good stuff if you want to win a Greg Taylor 3D Limited ahead of this weekend. So yeah, I wanted to do Celtic there. I think it'll be a good game for us. Let's get the predicted 11 back on. Sorry. Hearts are no mugs, it must be said. Very good team at home as well. A lot of good players. One of the top teams in the division, as we know. And like I mentioned to you, Celtic v Hearts, Rangers v Hibs. Next week, I think, is the actual opposite. It's just a total role reverse, which is going to be funny. So, yeah, definitely no pushover. And Xander Clark made his Scotland debut. And Naismith, the Hearts manager, has recently backed Craig Gordon to get back into the Scotland team. So, let's see how that pans out. Could be an interesting one for sure. But I think overall, this should be a good one for Celtic. I'm expecting Hearts to probably get a goal. But I actually think our defence is probably going to keep a clean sheet when I look at it. I don't see Hearts scoring, but it's hard to say you're going to go to Tynecastle and keep a clean sheet as a prediction. It's quite a big thing to say. But we've not had Vickers and Scales really start together. I think for Hearts in the best form he's had in a Celtic jersey. Taylor's coming good. Johnson's solid. So I think this could be like 3-0 Celtic quite comfortably. Some big scores on the doors. And although it's not an apex fixture, I just think we are so strong that that's the way it could shake out. Blue Tomatoes, fist bump. Good to see you.
And then what have we got below this? Anything that stands out? I can't see too much, to be honest. Salzburg are at home.
Well, as we give the 5-minute warning, Harry boy, right? Probably the biggest fixture of the weekend is Arsenal v Chelsea.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Let me have a wee peek. It's Saturday, isn't it? So late. No, is it the Saturday late kickoff? Let me have a wee peek. I'm just waiting for the thing to load up. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-bum. It's not loading for me, sorry. There we go. Okay, cool. So the late kickoff we've got, Harry boy, on Saturday at 5:30 is Chelsea at home to Arsenal, which is obviously a bit of a London derby, as we know. This fixture normally is like a top-of-the-table clash, but Chelsea last year and Chelsea this year have not been at the top of the table, and Arsenal very firmly have been. So this is a really important game for both clubs in two really different situations, isn't it?
Yeah, massive challenge for Chelsea at home. Arsenal coming to visit them, joint top of the league. They're going to want to come away with 3 points, obviously, and Chelsea are going to obviously try and stop that. But I think it's going to be a tough day, a real tough day for Chelsea. This Arsenal team is so well oiled. Arteta's got them. They just know exactly where they need to be at every stage of that game, even if things are going lopsided. They just seem to have an answer for most things right now, I would say. And this Chelsea side is probably the complete opposite, realistically. Like, we've seen glimpses of brilliance from certain players. Sterling's come alive in the last couple of weeks. Same for Cole Palmer, who started off really well, a player we know quite well, and has been really good since his inclusion in that side. And it's just a case of gelling, I guess, for Chelsea and getting everyone back fit in that sense. They've been plagued with injuries, similar to Liverpool. Chilwell being the most recent one. I think they've had a few positive bits of news with Reece James coming back into the side eventually. I think over the next couple of weeks he's training. Badiashile is looking like his returns pretty soon as well. So I don't know. Those things don't help on the field. It all depends on what their 11 looks like in that sense. And I really struggle to see how Chelsea get a result, honestly, against Arsenal, albeit at home. I don't know. I just think it's the team hasn't quite gelled enough for me. The odds show it in that sense as well. Arsenal massive favourites, but you just never know. Football, we all know, it can shock us in many ways. But there's a lot of legs in that side in the midfield, and your quality up front is just, I don't know. Cucurella at left back. I think Gusto's great, but massive game for him. Massive chance to prove, on the Premier League level, is he good enough? To deal with some of the best sort of wingers in the world in that sense at Arsenal. So, interesting dynamic. But, if I stick my neck out, it has to be an Arsenal win for me.
Yeah. I think one of the funny things looking at this game is Chelsea, as much as I think they're doing terrible at the moment, the last 3 games they've won in a row, and they've only conceded 1 goal in doing so. In doing so, they've beat Brighton, Fulham and Burnley, which is a bit of a mixed bag of results. But they're on a bit of an ascendancy. The last 3 fixtures, Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, Arsenal have won. And over those last 3 fixtures, Arsenal scored 6 goals. So I think it's going to, some good omens in that respect. But this fixture generally is quite even. There's normally a lot of goals involved in it. And like I say, there's normally a lot of implications on it. But when you look at the predicted team for Arsenal, you can see why you would expect them to get some goals against Chelsea. Very, very well-oiled attacking outfit here, isn't it? With Zinchenko coming back in, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, finally. It's kind of starting to get settled and starting to lift off.
100%. I know Saka's had a few injury worries over the last couple of games, and over the international break, it looks like he's clawed his way back into contention and being able to start again. So yeah, I mean, it's as good as a team you're going to get for Arsenal, to be honest. But yeah, I just want to mention, on Chelsea side as well, how decent Conor Gallagher's been, in the sort of new role that he's been given as sort of captain of the side and whatever. And he's really stepped up for me. Still a young player, to be fair, but that midfield, no one's older than 23, I believe. So it's it's a young midfield. Not to say that Arsenal's isn't, barring Partey, I guess, but just been really solid. Like, we've always known that Gallagher has incredible qualities to be a very good Premier League player. So much athletic ability. And, he's just been running things, to be honest, mate. He's just been really, really good. I watched him in that Burnley game, got an assist. And he just looked like a bit of a Rolls Royce in a weird way. Like Enzo, Enzo will take all the headlines in that sense, being the World Cup winner and whatever. But, if you watch the games, Gallagher's running things. It's as simple as that. Like, Caicedo hasn't, I'll be honest, I don't think he's been that good in the games I've seen. He's been okay. And I know Caicedo's not there to score goals and get assists in that sense. He's there to just mop up and break up play and move it on to players who can probably do a little bit more with the ball in that sense. And that's fine. He is good at that. But, Gallagher has really been, alongside Palmer and Sterling have been the three for me that I'm like, wow, okay. If Chelsea are going to do anything, it's going to come through those three. And then hopefully they can feed Jackson and he can sort of, get on a bit of a goal stretch. It's been interesting to watch this evolution, definitely.
There's a great dynamic in here. It's coming from the chat as well. Like, with Chelsea maybe having less pressure on their shoulders in this fixture, might give them a wee bit more freedom in this match, because Arsenal are like, we spoke about on the deadline show recently, but Arsenal, it feels like, are playing last game of the season every week with the amount of emotion and, last minute winners and last gasp things that are going on already this early in the year. So it feels like they're in sixth gear at all time, just high revving. And, maybe Chelsea with a wee bit less pressure on them, it could be a wee bit the freedom they need to maybe get a nice result. So one of the big matches of the weekend, I think everyone will be tuning into. I'm probably, on the basis of what I just said a second ago, I'm probably going to edge it towards Chelsea and say a 3-2 win.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know. I can see Arsenal scoring a couple, but I just don't know if they're going to concede that many, if I'm being honest. Saliba's just, honestly, the way he just tucks up forwards this season has been, not that he wasn't doing it last year, but I don't know, I just can't see Jackson giving him that much problems, if I'm being honest. You could argue, Sterling could give Ben White a tough game, even though Ben White's one of the best defenders actually in the world, I think. Playing at right back, he's just that low center of gravity for Sterling. It doesn't matter who you are, I don't think. He's so hard to defend against at the pace he runs at. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that works out. Palmer against Zinchenko, obviously ex-teammates. I think that could be an interesting little dynamic. Both left-footed. Palmer going to want to come in onto his left. Don't know. It'd be interesting to see how that works out. But then he's going to be faced up against Gabriel. So it's like, you get past Zinchenko, but you've got a couple of brick walls, up against you next. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that plans out, tactically, defense-wise. And I'm still sticking with Arsenal. I think Arsenal win this game. I'm gonna say 2-1.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. Let's know your predictions in the comments, guys. And is there anything else, Barry? We're at 34 minutes to the deadline, right? We've got the scramble. I've got to get. Harry, how about this? Right, we've had a bit of a change. Let me get your thoughts on this. We've had the change, and I'm pretty sure this means that we can no longer play with common cards if we have over 10. Just scarcity cards, I think, is the rule now. Yeah. So I think this is the last weekend we can play with commons.
I think it is, mate. Yeah. Well, I don't even, can we? Oh, it comes into effect game week 418. Is that right? I don't actually know, if I'm being honest. I assume that's the case. But oh,
lovely. We've got a lot more people involved in the giveaway now, so I feel good. We can do it. Right. So we've got the link. We're set up to go, guys. So if you followed the channel, you've hit retweet and like and followed Harry and followed SR Monkey. This is all programmed up and ready to go already. And we are ready to go. So I'm going to contact you on Twitter and get this tailor shipped to you ASAP. So let's get the Twitter data. Please log in with your account. Oh, I hate it when it does this to you. Right, I'll come back to this in a second on screen, but I just need to go and plug it in and sort it all out, guys. But we're going to do that now. Where is it? Log in with, there it's there. Authorise blobbing thingy. Right, there we go. I think we've done it. Passwords are all sorted. Everything's in and all good. Get Twitter data. Is the link still there? No, it's not. Jesus Christ. Right, guys. Thanks to everyone that supported the stream today. Thanks to everyone that's entered in the competition. Thanks a lot to SR Monkey for being the patron saint of the stream, of the channel, by supporting the one today. We've got 50 that have hit the criteria, guys. So if you don't follow us, I'm sorry. I'll load it again. Give you one last chance. It's still 50. Okay, cool. Last orders. Right, okay, we're going to give away the Greg Taylor Limited to PKR Poker Crypto. Congratulations, Monfrere. I'll get in touch with you and we'll get that shipped over to you now. Lovely. You won, Taylor. Congratulations. Now, Harry boy, we do have another card to give away, and then I think we can do commons and academy lineups and shoot the breeze. What's your club name? Now, we've got a Flecken Limited 3D card to give away. So let's get these 3D cards on screen. So there's Greg Taylor. He's going to get shipped away now in that lovely new kit in 3D. You'll love to see it. He's given away to Crypto Poker. Thanks very much for supporting the stream on Twitter. It means a lot to us. And for those that are getting involved in supporting the content on YouTube, we're about to give away a Mark Flecken. So I just need to go and get the video and load it up into the picker giveaway thing, and we'll try and get this to you. While I'm doing that, Harry, I'm going to put on screen the predicted 11 for Brentford so we can see if Flecken is actually going to be useful to anyone pre-deadline. Oh, 70%. So you should play. Lovely. Love to see that. So we should get some utility for the competition winner, Harry boy. What do you think of the giveaway? What do you think of the prizes? Help me fill some air, Harry.
No, I mean, Jesus. People, there's not many. I don't think there's many live streams given, or Sorare live streams anyway, giving away, the cards of that caliber, constantly. And it's not as if, you're getting anything from it, in that sense. Like, you're not gaining from. I know SR Monkey gives them away in that sense. So, massive kudos to him. But like, it's just a nice thing to do, kicks people on in their sort of Sorare, careers in that sense. Like, it's not easy to get some of these cards in if you're not able to spend decent amounts of money on them. So, if there's a chance to win a couple of really good cards, like, over the last couple of weeks, Quinny, the amount of like good limited cards that have been given away, or even, since we've started the whole deadline stream, it's been ridiculous, really. So, massive thanks to SR Monkey for that. He's not gaining any monetary value from doing so. Like, there's no gain in it. It's just out of the goodwill of his heart in that sense. Good guy. So, it's really, really impressive.
Now, next week, I think I'm giving away Raheem Sterling, or it might be Basuma. But we've got 2 more 3D cards to give away. They're very good cards. If you want to get involved in that and win the card for next deadline, there's a video on my YouTube channel called Premier League Giveaway Details. All the details are there. Feel free to check it out. But this week's winner of the Flecken is Shubilla to Le Merchant. Love that. It's a great name. And it's great content. I think the best strategy for a beginner is to buy 5 cards with low L15 and high potential and play 240. Great comment, great suggestion there for a beginner. And I'm going to go get in touch with you now on YouTube. And we'll get that shipped over to you as well, my man. Thanks very much for entering. Harry boy, do you want to show us your teams for the weekend? What you've got locked and loaded?
Yeah, we can do. Well, that's probably my issue right now, Quinn. I've not got much locked and loaded. I'm kind of still, what I'm like with my last minute decisions. What have we got going so far? This is the draft. I think I've been doing this morning. So this is the current rig, under 23 rare plus now, not pro. Super rare, cap 240 super rare, and then we're gonna go. I was gonna use a load of these, the Euro red boys in red boys in gas, but I think I'm gonna use them in Champ Asia instead. I got a bit of luck this midweek, Quinny. Finished 7th in Asia Rare Plus.
Nice.
Very close. I was on podium, and then a guy called Zeka, I believe, that plays for K-League team. Is it Pohang Steelers? Mm-hmm. I think he scored a goal late on. I think he missed a penalty and then, scored a goal late on to kind of, bump me out of those positions. 20 points off third, which was annoying. And my forward didn't even start, which was even more annoying. But yeah, that was nice to see. So I'm going to throw them back into Champ Asia Rare. And I'm just in the process right now of building my Cap 240 lineup for this weekend. I don't know about you, but I'm not too fussed on the 270, if I'm being honest, this weekend or even this sort of month. I just don't feel like my gallery can kind of live with what's going to be in there. In that sense, I don't really have the powerhouses that are probably needed to do the business there, mate. So that's kind of my take on thing. I don't know what your plans are. I know, I don't know if you normally play 270 realistically, but is that something that's going to come into your...
I was up for having a go at it, and I still am up for having a go at it. Don't get me wrong on that, but it just doesn't make sense for me this week. Like with some of the cards I've got and what scarcities, goalkeepers, some of this, it makes no sense for me to do it, So I'm kind of leaning into just normal core strategies, red and blue, normal kind of divisions I play in that sense. So yeah, it's not really swaying me this week, but I think it'll be really funny, this 270 Super, because it doesn't run for a full month, and because everyone is writing it off in different measures, I'm not ruling out that I can play it next week and maybe have a shot at something halfway decent. I might not win the thing, but can maybe still sneak into the leaderboard later on, maybe. So I'm not totally ruling it out, but I'm not absolutely going gung ho for it.
Yeah, I can see why. It's hard, isn't it, for people to, like, we're so used to trying to win things every week, and now they're throwing these monthlies on us, and I think they're good. They're good for the market and how, it's going to sort of delay the amount of rewards that are coming out and whatever weekly. And I like it. I just don't know if, unless you have like a not massive, but a big enough gallery to where, like, you can afford to play the 270s. I just don't know if it's going to be that much of a priority for everyone. I'll be interested to see everyone's thoughts on that, to be honest, because it's not easy. Like 270 is one of the hardest competitions to win anyway, isn't it? And to do well in. And I know it's over an extended period of time, so it's, you've got more than one game week to try and do well in it. But I don't know. I still think it's tough to do, and tough to do well in. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see, how that all plans out for sure. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do in 240. But yeah, I think everything else is pretty settled. Like my main lineups are kind of where they need to be, but it's a funny one. Like this game week, I've somehow got 4 starting Super Rare goalies. So, and normally I only have like 2. So it's like I can kind of play the 270 as like a throwaway in that sense and just hope for the best. But I don't know whether I should concentrate my efforts on maybe a 220, like Super Rare 220 maybe instead, and try and win something there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at potentially doing. I'm just trying to find an extra player for this weekend. Who are we going to go with for the extra?
Jim's asking if I'm doing the MLS Special Weekly, and I was talking to Laird, and I got mad tempted right at the thought of it. We're talking to Laird about, I could probably have a go at it, but I've had a wee shuffle around of my teams, and I don't think, I'm not using. I need my cards elsewhere. Basically, I need the goalkeeper. If I could have spared the goalkeeper, I would have went for it. I'll put my teams on screen in case anyone cares. But with the Joe Hart, he'll be making his FC Barcelona's debut this game week, and we will be playing in Challenger Europe. We're hunting Celtic 3D cards with this team. Celtic 3D cards are only in the Tier 2 Super Rare prize pool, which means I'm aiming for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th this week. I'm not aiming for 1st. So this will be a funny one. We'll see how it knocks out. But I'm going with the defensive play. Taylor, like I mentioned, the giveaway card, hugely underrated on the platform. Captain Scales, he won the captain's armband with his performances so far this year. McGregor and Kyogo can speak for themselves. And then look at this Harry boy. Ivan Martin nailed on his star at home. Apex fixture comes in as a unique into all-star with Hatate defender, and then we get the Sociedad attack stack there with Braze and Oyarzabal. They're at home to Real Mallorca. So really good fixtures. That's an all-star team that I think could do well, but if it doesn't do well, like it's had a good shot. And I feel the Braze has got a really good fixture, and I really don't want to put that somewhere where I don't feel it could really hit big. So I feel that's quite good. And then in 240, we're going after that freshie, and we're going to try and get a card while we're at it. We've got the Spanish Kimmich, Mark Roca as captain, alongside McGinn in midfield, and then we've got Dyson Maeda up front with Starfelt and Soria, the defence. So should be a solid 280 effort, get that 200 quid in. And then we're going for gold with this, Harry boy. We're going akimbo double shotguns, right? Up front, we're going Take Kubo and Savio and champion Euro rare with a Captain Wirtz midfielder, Guardiola and Oblak as a defence. High XP, high power. And in champ rare, I just hope all these guys smash 75 plus, and then, we cross our fingers on it. So that should be good fun.
Some good teams there, mate. Yeah, really good.
All-Star Rare, we're going kind of all Celtic, and I'm trying to go with all the stud cards, and then for good measure, we're throwing in Captain Ryan Gold, so it's going to read as Joe Hart in goals, Scales in defence, O'Reilly in midfield, and Hitate in the forward card in Kawasaki Frontale colours. So I'm hoping that goes a wee bit OP with the real attacker card. I don't need to worry about clean sheets and crap for a mid or a defender, and I think you'll get a good AA with at least one decisive. And 240, but for the rare, I've got a lot of XP in this team. We've got Angelino at home for Galatasaray. Not even checked Galatasaray, Besiktas, Harry. We'll have a look at that before we finish the deadline show. But in midfield, I've got Ferran Torres, maxed out on 12%. Starting up front, probably, at home to Bilbao. We've got Captain Was, who Brøndby, whenever they're away to a smaller team, he does really well. And Tati Castellanos is on to start for Lazio at 33 points. He is one of the OP cap picks, potentially, this game week. So that's good fun. So that's my top 6 teams. Now, I think all of them could go and do the damage and do something. Team number 7, I'm playing Goretzka in it because I've only just got him and I want him to debut, but we don't really know what's going to happen. Yangel Herrera should also probably feature for Girona, but again, he's doing a lot of international travel. So those 2 super rare mids, they're going to take my MLS goalkeeper, so I'm not going to be playing MLS special weekly. And then I'm going to make sure that team, if they do start both those midfielders, they've got players around them that can make things happen. I'm putting Taylor in defence, and I'm putting Captain JFR, Johnny fucking Russell. And then with All-Star Rare Pro, if that team flats on its face, I don't care. But if it's got the potential, again, I'm giving the guys a place where they could have a shot at doing something if they play. And then the other teams, I'm not even worried. 220 Super, 220 Rare, no one cares about them. But we have the Sorare Community World Cup on the go. And that is for me, McBride and Hoodwink. We are representing Scotland, and it's all about your all-star limited entry. So I've only got 5 cards, and these are the 5 cards I've got. So we're going with Matt Fries in goals, Udogie in defence, which is my only 3D representative here. Champion edition, Captain Rio Hitate in midfield alongside Filip Kostic, the legend. And then we're going with Magno up front, last game of the season, at home to Chicago. So we'll see how we do with that.
I like it. Yeah.
Podium dangerous and decisive capable, Harry boy. I'm feeling it this game week, but I've got no training teams done yet or any common lineups for the last hurrah.
I've got nothing done yet. I'm in the process of getting all that sorted right now. I'm going 1 super in Rare Plus under 23. I'm not somebody that loves doing that normally, but
fair enough. I don't do it either. I never do it. I will avoid it. I'll just play Rare. If I got a Rare that's good as him, and just play Rare, personally.
No, I get it, for sure. Do get it. Thrown in a couple of these teams.
Just about getting that XP up. That's all I'm kind of looking at now. Make sure we get that XP up on all these guys.
I've been boosting my... I forgot about the max 3 boosts on a card. So I was buzzing last night. I was like, I'm gonna boost up my Vinny from 19 to level 20 and complete him. And it wasn't the case. I've already used 3, so he's stuck on 19 for now.
Oh, bugger. I did that with the pie. I forgot there was 3 on it, and he was at level 13 or something. And I was like, I'm just going to get him to 20. I don't care. And I went and hit the 3 on him, and then it was like, you can't do anymore. I was like, oh, craps. Maybe you can.
No, nothing more annoying than that.
For sure. So once I plug in, I've got 5 wee training teams to do. And then I don't mind, as we get to the deadline, we're under 20 minutes away there. We'll try and ram in some common lineups. We'll try and have a bit of fun with that if we possibly can also.
Yeah, on the last game week, we're able to play it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Try and get another wee... They're trying to kick me out, Harry, because I've been playing limiteds and giving them away. They'd rather people just won the limiteds for themselves. That's what Sorare are trying to tell us. So, Yeah, it'll be a last wee hurrah for me, try and win something to give it away. You don't really bother with it yourself, do you?
Not really. No, actually, we did my girlfriend's lineups last night. Actually, to be fair, she's got like 9 lineups this weekend. She got a couple of drafts and semi-pro. So yeah, I kind of get my kick out of just seeing her maybe do well or not. You know what I'm saying? Like rather than playing it myself. Because I have the under 23 limited stuff for the Road to Glory and all that stuff now. So that kind of tickles my fancy down there. But yeah, the commons I can't get into them. I really can't. I can't lie.
Fair enough. I don't mind it. I like them. It's a good bit of frivolous fun because you can't own all the cards that you want, So it's like, can I have a wee shot of this one in that division and that kind of thing? I don't mind it. So let's see. Have we got one more training team to do? One more, and then we'll go and do some comments together, guys. For all you that are patiently waiting for me and Harry Boy to get our housekeeping in order. Thankfully, there's no deadline dashes. I'm not making any changes to anything. And I'm not going to, no matter how much he's trying to spook me this week. I'm going to live and die on the configurations I've got laid out for us. Just one more guy in the training who could do with some of the XP. Awesome. All right, cool. So let's see. Bundesliga Amateur. Let's have a peek. Now, we don't play Neuer this week. Oh, Trapp is maybe injured. Let's have a wee... Pardon me, quick scout at that. The giveaways have all been done, by the way, guys, so congratulations to those that entered. Let's see. Kevin Trapp, are you going to play for Frankfurt? Oh, we didn't even check Leverkusen, by the way, for the whole Frimpong Grimaldo. I know they're both going to play, but we've got Wirtz, we've got Hoffman, we've got all the main players. That's good to see. But we want to see Frankfurt, and if they're going to have Trapp in goals, or if I need to make a wee change in goals. Let's see. Yeah, Trapp's on 60%. I'll live with that. I don't care enough to change it. Schlotterbeck is fine in defence, and then I think we'll take Javi Simons, Boniface, and Sane. I'll probably not play Wirtz this week, and we'll captain probably Sane because I think he's quite safe and on good form at the moment. Oh, sorry, I've not got it on screen. Sorry, guys, I've had Harry's screen on there. Oh, no, I've not been sharing it. So I had Play Sharper on there. That's what it was. So in France, we'll go with Restes. People were asking me earlier about Maripan, so let's have a look at the Monaco team. Has Monaco got Maripan in? Oh, we did look at Monaco earlier. Yeah, no Maripan. I think we've seen that already. So who's my other option? It's Mendy, who plays for Lorient. So let's see. Lorient's team. No Mendy. So I've got no defence, I don't think. So we'll play Maripan on the punt. So I'm not going to be bothered to change it. And then we'll just click and fill in. Let's put Angelo in there since we mentioned him earlier. And we'll captain him for fun since we've got no defender anyway. Right, La Liga. This should be fun. So we've got Mamardashvili at home to Cadiz or Oblak away to Celta Vigo. Now, Celta Vigo don't score a lot of goals. So I don't think this is a bad game for either goalkeeper. But Mamardashvili being at home, I think I'm going to take that. Then we've got Eric Garcia at home to Almeria. Give me that. We then get Danny P at home to Alaves. Give me that. We then get Felix, who was Harry's pick for the weekend. So give me that. And then the last spot, I've only got Isco, who's fit. So I think we'll just plug him in there. So who would we captain? Eric Garcia. I think all these guys have got great fixtures, by the way. Eric Garcia, Danny Parejo, João Felix, or Isco. Who will we captain? I think I may captain Danny P. At home to Alaves. Should be one of his best games of the season. And then MLS Amateur. Oh, we've got Coronel, do or die game, and we've got Burkey. I don't think there's anything on that fixture. Is Burkey on to play? But because he is at 6% XP, which makes a real difference to me versus the field. I think I don't think there'll be many 6% Burkeys about. It's a day one draft. That's what that happens. Yeah, Burkey's on 90% on the day one draft. We'll take him. In defence, I'll probably take Token because it is a big game for him. We've got Acosta in midfield. We've got Cincy v Atlanta last game of the season. Let's see the predicted 11 for that. Cincy v Atlanta.
That's a big one.
That is a big one. Full strength, it looks like, from Cincy. They're not letting up. And yeah, full strength from Atlanta. So that could be goals galore. And I don't mind picking all these players. And then we'll pick the guy that's at home, Acosta, to score the most. Sorry. Need to flick between changing these tabs more often. So that's my MLS team. Burkey, Token, Acosta, Giacomakis, and Almada. The Premier League one's probably the most fun one, right? Because this is one we probably care about the most. So we've got Pickford away to Liverpool or Leno away to Tottenham. I think I might need to swap one of them. Both of them feel quite crap.
Tough games, yeah.
Yeah, so let's have a wee swap on the go. So let's send about Leno's the most expensive. So let's try and swap him out. And then who could we bring in for 53 points? We've got Becker. We could bring in Allison. That would be good. We could bring in Ederson.
Who would?
I think I'd rather Ederson. Oh, no. Do I have Man City or Liverpool people already? I've got... Oh, crap. Let's see. Who do we have already? I've got Haaland. I've got Rodri. So I can't take Ederson. So I think I'll be taking Allison. That's a great swap. I love that. So Leno out. If anyone else has got a Leno, I think you could probably do this as well. Brilliant. Love that. So we can play Allison in goals now. That's a great start. In defence, Udogie or Trippier, Harry boy, both at home. Udogie at home at Fulham, Trippier at home at Palace.
That's tough. I'd say Trips has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so too.
Big Trips.
Rodri and Solomon. Solomon's injured, so we'll go with Rodri. Haaland to double up. And then the final spot is Udogie or Rasmus Højlund. I think I would take Højlund to score a goal against Sheffield. And I would probably just captain Rodri because that's what you do, isn't it? That seems like a fun team.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get behind that.
And then the last one will be in Serie A, which we don't have much options. So we've got Skorupski or Vanya. Vanya's at home to Inter, so we'll avoid that. Christensen, I don't know if he's going to play for Bologna. Let's have a look at the Bologna predicted 11. Against Frosinone. Do we have Renier in this team? Yeah, we do. Good. Yeah, Christensen's on to play, so that's good. So we can play Christensen and Skorupski. Coop Miners has got a good game like that. And then we can play the Napoli lads. And then we'll captain Coop. Nice. Quite like that team. And hopefully we'll win. I'll be limited out of one of these 6 teams and we can give it away to you guys. 10 minutes to the deadline, Harry boy. All my teams are locked and loaded. They're on screen for everyone that might want an RB peek and a gander, if anyone cares. And Harry boy, you're still sweating. You're still sweating all the way to that deadline.
Still getting a couple of bits done.
Someone thinks Rodri's suspended.
Are we still worried about the? Are we still worried about the fixtures in? What was I going to say? Yeah, fixtures in like the Aberdeen fixture being called off and stuff, or is that?
It's dicey, mate. It's dicey. Rodri is not suspended. He's in the predicted 11, but I think that's dicey, Harry. If you can avoid them, I would. At home at Dundee, it's just so far up north. I would still play them because, like, it's just the game going ahead kind of thing. It's not, it's not. It's pretty stormy here, and Aberdeen will be worse. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like snow and flooding and stuff like that. Yeah, it might get like that, but I would still want to play them somewhere. But I would heavily de-risk them.
Got you. Yeah, I can get behind that. Go with.
Oh, someone reckons Osman is out. Let me double check that as well. We didn't look at Napoli. Oh, good catch. Yeah, no Osman. So we'll do a wee redraft on that quickly, I think. So let's see, swap. So it's the last week I can play, so I don't care about keeping MD. But we can swap out Osman. And who can we bring in? We've got 55 points. Oh, no Nico Gonzalez. That's who I'd have wanted. We can get Politano. We can play Giroud in goals. That'd be fun. We can play Giroud as a keeper or a striker. How fun is that? In the common cards. That's good. On the basis of that, I'm picking the goalkeeper Giroud because you can. And I'm going to captain him because I can. It's the last time we'll do it. Thanks very much, Pico Player, for the shout. Trap will be a game decision. Atubolo at home at Bochum. Could be a good one as well. McGregor is in the tier 1 pool now, is he? Fantastic. Let me go and have a peek at that because he wasn't before. Oh, I believe you. Let's see Harry sweating out. Guys, Harry's the one that's doing the deadline dash. We've got 9 minutes to go. Yeah. And Harry boy's freaking out on what he's clicking.
This lineup, honestly, I couldn't care less about, to be honest, the 270. Because I don't even know if Bart's going to play, basically. So it's a glorified training lineup, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I really don't care what happens here. Captain Big Bila, and I just need to do my training lineups, and I'll be done, I think. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, no sweat, to be fair. I've managed to come out unscathed.
So I'm looking forward to watching Celtic and Girona somewhat back-to-back on Sunday. We've spoke about Arsenal-Chelsea will be the big Saturday night game. We've got Dortmund tonight, a wee bit of a Friday. Harry, have you given much thought to, what your actual plans are for the weekend, what you'll be watching, what teams you'll be following along with.
Well, I'd like to say a lot, mate, but unfortunately, I'm flying home tomorrow, so
Oh,
I'm missing. Yeah, I'm missing a lot of. Well, I say missing. It'll be like 10 o'clock UK time when I'm flying. So yeah, I'd have watched all the games tomorrow, but yeah, my sort of Saturday night / Sunday morning is going to be a lot of travel heavy related stuff. So I'll be able to watch things. I'll just be probably very tired. I've got like a 5-hour layover. It's going to be a rough one, but hopefully the MLS 6 p.m. kickoffs for me while I'm in Atlanta will get me through that 5-hour layover, because it could be rough. Well, it's going to be rough.
yeah,
I can tell you that for free.
for sure.
I'm buzzing for it. Yeah, I've got nothing tonight, which is nice in a way, because I don't like having players play Friday, to be honest. So I'm quite happy not having anyone. Have you got anything on tonight specifically?
No, de nada. But I was just going to bring up, Rob P's put up a good point here about the whole removal of common access to guys like me and you. Is it was the only level playing field where you could just actually slug it out no matter what your gallery is. You could, make a go at it. So that's a funny one. We'll see how it pans out. But good point. I thought I'd add into the stream for anyone that's watching or listening alongside on any of the channels. But as always, Harry, as we get closer to the deadline, I feel sorry our scouts and managers running away to double check their teams one last time. Oh, what did we say there? We've got some intel here that as well, that there's no roads open between Dundee and Aberdeen at the moment. And Charlie Dunbar's caught us as well. I knew this already, but I totally forgotten. But Spurs is the Monday night football, which will be fun.
Yeah.
Spurs
there's a couple of
Fulham.
Monday night. Monday night. I think I've got a couple of other games in. I think one of my maybe Italian game is on Monday potentially. But yeah, quite a lot Saturday. But yeah, mainly Saturday, Sunday as per. But yeah, that's kind of all we got, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Pico player saying big galleries can increase XP of their common cards faster by buying more boosts with coins. I can categorically promise you not one person, not one whale especially, has spent a single coin leveling up a common. I don't think anyone with like rares and stuff would have even thought to do that, to be honest with you. So in theory, you're right, but I don't think that is in practice what's happening. We finished up the last poll. Bellingham took it 86% over Matt O'Reilly. So we had the winners as being Grimaldo, Vinny. Did Vinny win the poll or was it Felix? I think Vinny won the poll, and Bellingham.
Okay, yeah. I think we're all good to go.
Nanzo crossed the 1 million soul coins mark this game week.
Jesus Christ.
1 million coins.
That is
GG's Nanzo, by the way. And answer is this, Nanzo. Have you ever considered leveling up a common card with your 1 million coins? And yeah, well remembered as well, Charlie. When we do hit end on this stream, Harry boy, bang on 3 o'clock, we've got the premiere of Looking Up with Laird on Sorare TV as well. There's been lots of good content coming out there. We missed the Champ Euro show last week, early this week. We had to reschedule. We missed it. Really sorry about that. But Looking Up with Laird will be debuting, premiering once the deadline show concludes. So you don't need to do anything. If you're here right now, when I hit the big red button that says stop the stream, give YouTube 10 seconds, and then they're going to say to you, hey, come and watch this. Come and watch this. And they'll take you over at Sorare TV, and you can just go and watch Harry, Sam Ty, and I was going to say Looking Up with Laird, but his name is Andrew, not Looking Up. Andy Laird for a bit of looking up stuff. Harry boy, you give us a wee preview, a wee taster, a wee teaser of this week's episode.
Yeah, who did we pick this week? So I actually had a message on Discord from Bob Flynn, Orange Fly. Been around in the community for a little while, but yeah, he messaged me with a couple of Bundesliga 2 and La Liga 2 under 23 little gems. So I mentioned one of them on the show. For my side of things, Sam, where did Sam go? I'm trying to think. He went goalkeeper for one of them.
Ooh.
Yeah, little goalkeeper. And what did I go for my second one? I can't even remember now. We did it Tuesday, so week's flown, to be fair. Buzzing for it. And hope you enjoy watching it.
Yeah. The deadline is in. Maybe Nanzo will get to play at Anfield. Yeah, I think maybe Nanzo will. We've got 3 minutes to the deadline. It's definitely that time where we say good luck to everyone. Obviously, make sure you have a great game week.
100%. Jerm, I really appreciate that. That goalkeeper for the Cap 240 Limited. Massive help there.
Massive shout. Loving it. So yeah, I think it's a good luck to everyone this game week as we get into the last couple of minutes. I would say I'm just waiting now for the time to tick away. I've kind of got all the ducks in a row. We've gave away the cards. There's a little promotion there in the live chat for you guys as well that follow the channel. If you're going to have a wee punt on something this weekend, hit the link. It's on all the description of all the videos, but you'll find it in the live chat there as well for Quinn Bet. You'll get yourself a free bet. You'll support the content here at the channel if you're going to do any of that stuff anyway. 18 plus, gamble responsibly, all that good stuff, of course. And yeah, we had some new members on the channel as well with some gifted memberships. So we'll have some good members content. And I'm actually half contemplating, guys, because Harry, last season we did a lot of watch alongs on the channel. And I've not done any this year. Mm-hmm. And it's because I'm kind of like, what's the best way is to do a watch along? Because sometimes sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. Sometimes the camera, I think I've got it in a good setup and I can see everything and it's engaging. We can build a fun screen. And sometimes it just feels like I'm just sitting here talking to people on the internet for no reason when they're watching the football anyway. Why would they be? So it's a funny one. So I don't know, maybe we'll do a wee member watch along, maybe test the water with that or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud as we run towards the deadline. But yeah, we had some new members join on and I look forward to catching you guys for members content and all the rest of it. Harry Boy will be making his way back to the UK. So I think next week when we do the deadline stream, Harry will have plenty of time to get his cornflakes done before his homework. And you'll be back home for next week, Harry Boy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, back home Sunday morning. So yeah, looking forward to it. But massive good luck to everyone this weekend, lads. Finally, internationals are done.
That's it.
Let's go.
Good luck to everyone. And yeah, if you're going for 270, good luck to you. If you're going for anything else, I hope you are 1 point behind me on the leaderboard and it stays that way. But yeah, I think it's at that point, Harry Boy. It's been an absolute pleasure. Good luck to everyone this game week. And yeah, stay out of trouble.
All the best, lads.